definitely handled better. Good evening, lovely people from the interwebs.
Yeah, by the way, the AC is currently set to be heater only
Oh, is that why it's hot? Holy shit.
over there.
You guys
yeah.
are cooking
Just wait a
each
minute.
other.
Maybe you should fix that. Right, chat. We
She's
are.
melting.
Would you? Yeah.
Bloody
I'm
witch.
sorry, I got loud. Right, chat. We are here for another Sunday. Sunday.
Sunday.
Sunday D&D. So we had a good session on Wednesday evening. For those that were there would remember the certain halfling is now missing in action.
Traitor.
She's not a traitor. Come on. You guys have got traitor on the brain, eh? I mean, you thought Namaris was a traitor. It turns out she wasn't. Jeez. But anyway, it went very well. We had another great Curse of Strahd session, and we're really progressing with the session on Sunday nights too. We're episode 59 tonight, so we're one away from 60th. So we've actually been, 60 episodes. That's 60 weeks of entertainment or content. Holy jeebers, Yanti with a resub, 13 months. Thank you very much.
Nice.
So as I say, 60 episodes we're coming up to. Obviously, we started every second week in the beginning. Then we decided that's not enough. We all were getting withdrawals, waiting that long, so we moved it to weekly. And then we added another campaign just for good measure. And some of us are playing in other campaigns on top of that as well. So we're all got the D&D bug quite badly. But yeah, so in saying that, this campaign's been running over a year now, and we are getting somewhat towards the end of our story. That still might be a fair ways off. I can't really determine how many sessions we're going to have left. It could be 5, it could be 10, it could be 20, who knows. But we will keep going until the end, as the saying goes. When the fat lady sings, it'll all be over. Shh, Nutty. Nutty's lowering in the background. Which is why some of us are a bit of a train wreck on Monday. Why were you a train wreck on Monday? From last Sunday. Oh, poor baby. You know you can't speak. You are in Skype, eh?
Like hard work.
So much easier than typing, I bet. Anywho.
But I have to remember to pause for a second before I start.
Yes, you do.
Can you hear me okay tonight, though?
Yes. I fixed your microphone, so yes. I don't know what you did, but you screwed it up again. So I fixed it. But anyway, so without any further ado, we shall get into this evening's recap. I'm a little bit washed out. We'll bring the lights down a little bit there. So we get into a bit of sound effects here. Slurp on my coffee. And we got a buzzy baz again for a little bit there. Just a little bit of interference, nothing too major, dude. But yes, so last we left off. Is it running? Here we go. So last week, as we left our heroes, you were all resting at the guild house when Fiala excused herself and headed out to the outskirts of town to make contact with Kosis, to inform him of the information you received from Helman and Aaron, the two captives, now dead captives, of course. The conversation didn't quite go as well as one would hoped, and upon leaving the area, the connection that Fiala once had with Kosis was severed, and she's now no longer able to feel his presence. Demon Face will come. Next morning, you all prepare for your next task, which was to head to Beoford Keep, where Thorfinn had possibly been seen. It was decided that letting the town guard know about your mode of travel was probably a good idea, so before heading out, you stopped at the eastern gate to speak to the captain of the guard there, or the captain of the gate guard, and informed him that you would be transforming into a dragon and taking off, so please don't shoot me. Which was well received. They agreed, and it was all go from there. So on the outskirts of town, Fiala transforms, you all climb aboard, and into the first part of your journey. As you reach the shores of Paham, however, as you pass by the city of Paham, suddenly a large ballista bolt is fired from the misty trees below, and then a second. Quickly maneuvering and avoiding the attack, not losing your passengers in the process, luckily, you managed to make it through without any injury. So it appears that not all in the realm are accepting of a dragon being so open and involved in the defense of the realms, which is not unexpected. Once landing and finding your way to Beoford Keep with the aid of Sadiq, you land on the outskirts and then walk the rest of the way, spying a small wisp of smoke as you approach. Turns out that it's a small camp of sorts, a bedroll, a backpack and a small fire. A rustling and growling could be heard from the bushes nearby, and shortly after another druid presents himself, a hermit. He introduces himself, and you have a small conversation in which he then informs you of a bit of a sinkhole or a possible entrance to the catacombs below the keep, which is kind of handy because you weren't exactly sure how you were going to make it to where you needed to go. After a bit of discussion and offering of food, however, Het then reveals a rather rotting dragonling claw, much to Ildri's shock and dismay. Rather stinky and yucky, but instantly throwing it away and trying to smooth things over. But you proceed forth, Het trying to console Fiala transforming into a bear, I believe it was, or a wolf bear, I think it was, and then Het casting Speak with Animals to continue trying to talk to her. With that, you indeed find this small entrance. Not a very big hole, but big enough for you all to climb down. You all manage to find your own way down. Spider walk for some, as a spider for others, and but you make it into the catacombs. From there, you traverse a small hallway. You find a stuck door, which Alessandros tries to barge open. Then, with the aid of Het, you manage both burst through the door, Het landing on top of Alessandros, however. Then Het getting up, brushing himself off, and rushing towards the next door, which is not like Het at all to be rushing into such things. Opening a iron door to the next room, narrowly missing being crushed by a large stone that fell from the ceiling as he opened the door. Once clambering over the stone into the next room, however, you discovered a rather large room with a couple of corpses. One that looks like it had been flayed alive. The other throat slashed, left there to rot. A large sarcophagus atop a small staircase with a couple of lit braziers, which seeming out of place for what potentially looks like an abandoned keep. So with that, inspections were made. As Alessandros went to inspect the sarcophagus, the lid was ajar. Het casting the detect magic spell detects a small trace of magic on the rear wall, which seemed to disappear quite quickly. But then, as more discussions were had, the magic represents itself and a portal opens. Stepping through this portal is a tall, sort of mid-30s, very handsome man, standing there grinning at you. A man that Fiela recognized almost immediately. And before anyone could say anything or anything else could happen, his guise dropped, and standing before you was Asmodeus in his demonic form. His large leathery wings, his blazing red eyes, again grinning as he then steps back through the portal. In his stead, 3 demonic figures step back through. Portal remains open as these figures surge through. One coming through and jumping atop the sarcophagus, readying his attack, and the other coming around either side. And this is where we rejoin our heroes as we will roll initiative and switch over to our battle map. So over to the battle map. And we'll get some initiative rolls. Then Maris.
16.
Pardon?
Rolled a 16.
Yeah, you spoke too soon. All we got was teen. Alessandros.
24.
24. Hit.
So Head gets 22,
22.
and I do not have Killick out at this point.
Okay. We'll add Killick to. We'll have Killick run on your initiative for the time being, which makes it a little bit easier.
Okay, Killick is not out anyway.
Okay. So when he does come out at any time, we'll just have him run on your initiative. I think from now on. Fiela.
8.
Massive 8. And Sadiq.
16.
A 16. So we got 2 16s. Sadiq and Neymaris. Who has the higher dexterity? Not the modifier, the actual number. Not the modifier, your actual dexterity.
13.
That would be me with 14.
Okay, so Sadiq will go first. Right, so as these creatures reveal themselves, Alessandros, you're down in front of the sarcophagus there because you were closest to it, inspecting it. So that's where you finished off at the end of the night. We have Sadiq over by the flayed body. We have Neymaris, Fiela, and Het still over by the orc body by the door. Obviously, the big blue thing over here is the portal, and we have the demons, one flanking either side, one who has jumped atop the sarcophagus, looking directly at you, Alessandros. And you have the first of the initiative order. You got the highest there. There will be no surprise round as you all saw them step through. Het, you're on board after that.
Well, seeing how I can't use this damn bow yet, thank you, DM. I pull out the pair of rapiers and go hammer and tong at the one in front of me, I guess.
He will be within reach of you, so you can make your attacks.
With a 19.
With a 19, that does hit.
Oh, wow. 5 damage.
5 damage as you strike out at this first creature. It's a weird looking creature. It's just to give you an idea of what it looks like. It's got a very long, sort of almost roundish, sort of bulldog like face. Rows of large sharp teeth, but it has a long tail with a big, almost like a club head on it, almost like a Ankylosaurus type club on the end of its tail. But yeah, eyes blazing red like all demons would be, red skinned, very leathery looking, and a distinct smell of sulfur in the air as this portal remains open. So 5 piercing damage on your first attack, which
15.
will not have sneak attack, unfortunately.
Yes, I know.
15 hit on your second, it misses. So
that's
with
your second attack. Do I get a bonus?
your second attack is your bonus. I know you got 2 attacks on the action now, don't you?
Yes.
Yes, so you get a bonus action for your offhand.
Well, instead of doing that, I'm going to use my second wind.
That heals you.
Not that one. Where'd it
Action
go?
surge.
That's it.
Action surge. So you're going to use your action surge, which is that won't use up your bonus action. That'll just give you another attack action, I believe, because that's superiority die, or is that a bonus action to use?
Special.
Yeah, so you'll get your attack action, which will give another 2 attacks.
Yep.
And you'll still get your bonus attack, or a bonus action if you wish.
I'll do action surge.
So another 2 attacks with your main hand.
Oh, you mongrel. 13, that's a miss.
That is a miss. The creature parries your second attack, and as you bolster yourself with your action surge, you go through your third, and once again manages to parry.
And 14 for the second.
That also misses.
And for bonus action, I'm going to do disengage.
And how far back are you going to disengage? Your full 30 feet of movement?
Yeah.
Which direction?
Straight back.
Just straight back?
Yep.
So you disengage and move back. Full 30 feet of movement. The creature hisses and growls as you move backwards. You can now see that now that you've moved away, as you can all see, they are all carrying battle axes, 2-handed weapons with them as well. And you managed to parry those attacks with those 2-handed weapons. So Hit, you are up.
Okay. Hit will move to the back of Yodri. It's about 10 feet away, is it?
Certainly is.
And he will touch her just at the base of her neck, on the back, and he will say, "Steel Lady, give us sanctuary," and he will cast Warding Bond.
No problem.
So, Yodri, you now have +2 to your AC, resistance to all slash, basically like rage,
Yeah, so all melee damage.
slashing damage and stuff.
You wanted to say something,
Also,
Michelle?
I think I'm still a spider. Just, by the way, that's it. That's all.
Actually, I think you were too, yes. But that would still, the effect would still take place.
correct. As long
I
as
just
she's
have to
wearing the
move you
ring.
into spider form. I forgot you were still a spider. Too easy.
While the DM's busy doing that, hey, Roasted. No.
So, large spider. There we go. So, yeah, the effect of the spell still takes effect. So, make a note, +2 to AC, and you're resistant to all melee or physical damage. So, bludgeoning, melee, bludgeoning, slashing, and piercing damage. Is that-
Just says to, sorry, it says
Or is it all damage?
damage.
Yeah, so it's magical as well, isn't it? Yeah. So,
Correct.
and that lasts for a minute. Yeah,
1 hour.
1 hour. Right. Just had to clarify.
And as my bonus action, something new that Hit has been dabbling with. The nearest demon is about 60 feet away, is he, or closer?
Probably closer.
Okay. The
Yeah,
nearest demon,
about 40 feet. 40, 50 feet. Yeah, about 50 feet. -ish.
after he casts the ward, he raises his loot.
Raises his loot high and takes a deep breath. And he'll be back with us in a moment when he... There he goes.
Maggie, show him the Book of Souls and a massive bound tome as a spiritual weapon is floating above his head.
A bound
do.
tome.
Yeah, a large, think of the Book of the Dead.
I don't have a tome, but I do have a spiritual weapon here somewhere. in amongst all my stuff.
And it won't do anything in this round. I've created it this round, but it is like, think of an anvil above the coyote. It is a very big book.
No problem. So we go with the one on the sarcophagus. So we're going to use the spiritual weapon that I have there for that, but imagine a very large book instead, hovering over that particular creature's head.
And that is it for hit, thank you.
And that is it for hit. It is now the creature's turn. They are going to move. One moment, guys. Need to move my board so I can do this. So your spiritual weapon will get a attack of opportunity on that lead one as he moves, I believe. So I'll get you to take that now.
Okie dokie. I just clicked off that page too. Spiritual weapon. Okay, so it takes an attack at 22 to hit.
That hits. And your damage.
9 bludgeoning damage.
9
as the book
bludgeoning
slams him in the
damage.
head.
As the large book swoops down as the creature moves out of its range and slams it on the back of the head. The creature stumbles but still manages to make his full movement. With that, you see these creatures, they holding their battle axes all one-handed as well, not in two hands at this point. And the one directly in front, his eyes start to glow a brilliant flaming red, opens his mouth and shoots a fireball at giant spider who's directly in front of him. So it will be 2 attacks. It will be, the first attack is a 19, second is a 23, so I believe they will both hit. You will take... you need to make a dexterity saving throw for me, please, times 2.
A 12 and a 17.
One will succeed, one will fail, so you will take 15 points for the failure of fire damage, which will be halved anyway, so it'll be 7. And you'll take 7 points of damage for the second, which will also be halved down to 3. So it'll be 10 total fire damage for that attack. You also now must make a Constitution saving throw for the one that did hit you.
And the hit also takes that damage.
You also take that damage to hit, yes.
That is a natural 1.
A natural 1, that is also a failure. So does hit take half the same damage as her, or does it split it between the two of you?
So whatever damage she takes half, hit will take the exact same.
Okay, cool. So with that, the con save was failed also, so you also take 8 necrotic damage as well, which will be halved to 4. So you'll both take 4 necrotic damage. The second of these creatures will also use his ranged attack, which will be focused at... They'll both all be focused at you, unfortunately for Fiala. You're right in the front there, the first thing that they can reach. So another 2 attacks from the second. One will be 16 to hit. The second will be 26. So that's another 2 dex saves, please.
Fiala has luck as well.
17 and 15.
17 and 15, they both succeed, so you'll take a total of 14 points of fire damage, half to 7.
Okay.
And you have a luck from the chat, I believe.
Okay, cool.
So make a note of that. Hit, you'll also take that damage as well. And the final creature will do the same, but his is going to be actually focused at Alessandros, who is directly in front of him and who ran away. So Alessandros, first attack, 12 to hit. Second attack, 15 to hit.
Miss.
They both miss.
Yes, I'm 16.
Cool. So the creature, same thing, his eyes light up and he just opens his mouth and you hear and just this, it's not a very big fire, but as it sort of grows as it gets closer to you, and you manage to dodge both attacks without too many hassles. And that is the creature's turn. Next up is Neymaris, with Sadiq on board after that.
Right, I'm going to go up to the one directly in front of me. And with my Great Weapon Master attack, I think it is. It's a feat. I'm just trying to. What is it called? Hang on. Yep, my Great Weapon Master. I'm going to use that as a bonus action. I am going to.
I don't think Great Weapon Master is a bonus action.
Isn't it?
Use-
Can make one melee weapon attack as a bonus action before you make a melee attack with the heavy weapon that you're proficient with. You can choose to take a -5. Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to use it anyway.
Yeah. So you just
Okay.
take a -5 to your attack roll.
Yeah.
And
So I'm
add
going
+10 to the damage if you hit. But then, which gives you advantage on attacks after that, but also gives him advantage on attacks against you.
Yeah. So I'm going to hit him with a 17.
That hits.
Sorry, 16.
16. That also it does hit.
Yeah. Okay.
That's with the -5.
That's with the -5.
Cool.
Then
So
it
add
is
10 to your damage.
going to be 22 slashing damage.
22
That's my
slashing
first
damage.
strike.
As Neymaris moves forward and just takes a deep breath in. And want to mute yourself, please.
Oh, sorry.
And reaches down, just brings that double-handed sword down and opens up a large wound just in the top of the shoulder of this creature. For second attack.
So if I haven't... So that wasn't a bonus action?
No.
No, alright, then I'm going to rage.
Read what
I'm
it
going
says. It's not a bonus action, I believe.
To hit him with a natural 1, so I think I might miss.
I think you might.
So that would make it a 10.
Great Weapon Master is a feat.
Or a 12 on the second one.
That's also a miss.
So I'm going to miss him
You don't
with
get
my
3
second.
attacks, do you?
No, I just said that was my second. I'm going to miss it with my second attack.
Yeah, because you had advantage. Well, how do you get a natural 1 and then get 12? But your 2's not on your attack, your 2's for your damage. Yeah, it's on your turn when you score a critical hit with a melee attack, or it's the same as what Sadiq's got. Yeah, so basically on your turn, when you score a critical hit or with a melee weapon or reduce a creature to 0 hit point with 1, you can make 1 melee weapon attack as a bonus action. Before you make a melee attack with a heavy weapon that you are proficient with, you can choose to take a -5 penalty to the attack and add 10 to the damage, which is what you just did. No. And you're muted that whole time, so no one had any idea what you were saying. Right, sorry guys, we're just clarifying her feats. So, she misses a second attack, but the first one did strike true. So that was your turn. Bonus action rage. So you are raging, so make sure that you've noted, marked that off. Sadiq, it is your turn with Fiona on board after that.
I'm gonna walk up to one of them and take a swing.
Very quiet, Adam.
Walk up to one and take a swing.
Assuming the closest one,
Yep. 17 to hit.
that hits. And of course, you would know that these creatures are fiendish and evil.
Mm-hmm. That's 28 points of damage.
28 points of damage. As you open up a large wound across the creature's chest as you strike forward. Creature not managing to get his axe up to parry quick enough.
You have advantage on melee attacks if you're 5 feet of me.
He's not within 5 feet of you.
Well, second attack is 18 to hit,
That hits.
and that's 27 points of damage.
27 points of damage, no problem. A couple of massive attacks from Sadiq as the creature now has 2 large wounds streaked across his body. He's breathing sort of heavy, and you can smell that stench of sulfur as you're now within melee range of these creatures, and the sulfur smell is very strong. They don't seem overly emotional in such, no anger. It's just general, pretty much just feral sort of strength. So that's yours. So, end of your turn, Sadiq.
And also I'm going to blood medic that dude,
Yep, okay.
the one that I hit, and just put Sunder. Oh, crap. Oh, now where to go? The blood curse of the marked, which just means next time I attack him, I'll be able to do more damage.
Okay, cool. So you make note of that. So he is marked with the blood maledict. Fiela, your turn.
I am going to move to the closest one to me, which I think is straight ahead.
The one next to Neymaris, yep. And if you are
Yes.
striking with a melee attack, you will get advantage because you'll be within 5 feet of Neymaris.
All right. That's a dirty 20 to hit. And
That hits.
I'm going to bite it with 11 piercing, and they need to make a con saving throw.
11 piercing and a con save. Too easy. Rolled a 16.
And it saves, so it's only 8 poison damage as well.
8 poison damage. Look at your... Oh, cool. Takes the poison damage.
Yeah.
As the spider rears up, bites down with its large fangs and pumps a large amount of venom into the wound. You see around the wound site, that dark green sort of veins start to spider out from the wound as the poison takes effect. Not quite as much as you'd hoped, but it definitely takes some damage. That's your turn.
Yep, that's it for me.
That's it for you. Next up, stepping through the portal as it remains open. Three skeletoid figures appear, and immediately as they step through the portal, their entire bodies ignite in a type of fell flame. Not your typical looking type flame as they're painted, but a very dark, sort of reddish brown flame emanating a dark aura, and then they surge forward. and they will make their attacks. And they will each make one attack. One at... Actually, yes, one at you, Fiela. Another ranged attack as they bring their hands together and another fireball streaks towards you. The 16 to hit, which you will take 11 points of fire damage, as which will be halved to 5, which hit will also take. As this dark red and orange fireball streaks forward from its hands. The second does the same at you, Sadiq. Actually, you'll take 2. You're the closest one to them. So the first one, the 14 to hit.
Can I just interject here? I believe it has a +1 on Fiela.
It still hits.
It's a +2.
Yeah, it still hits the
Spiders, I
scooter.
see. Yeah.
Still hits the
Yeah.
spider though. So unfortunately,
okay,
spider's AC is
sorry.
lower. Yeah. So
Sorry,
14 to
Dave,
hit,
It's
Sadiq.
a +1.
Those are +1.
Nah.
Okay.
Miss.
Either way.
Try again.
Miss.
Also, I'm Fiela again, but I popped out into Fiela now.
Did the spider die?
Yeah, 5 was what you needed to kill me
Okay,
as
so-
spider.
So yeah. So any damage over and above that rolled over. But if you didn't, that's cool. 16, Sadiq. And misses as well. So
Try again.
2 fireballs from either skeleton, seemingly to strike your armor and do no damage at all. You seem to just shrug it off. As the flames strike the large spider, the spider form drops and Fiela is now your natural form. So with that, skeletons all have their turn. Back to the top of the initiative order with Alessandros. And the portal remains open too, guys, just for your reference.
Move into the one closest to Namaris.
You will get advantage and sneak attack.
13 to hit.
That misses. Your second attack. You
Nat
lunge,
1.
lunge forward. 2 attacks, lunge forward, and the creature must. Sixth sense sees you there. Parries your first one, dodges your second. Bonus action if you wish. With your offhand or something else, up to you.
I'll use my bonus action to attack again.
And roll your attack.
21 to hit.
21 does hit. Your damage.
11 damage.
11 piercing damage. As you finally, your first 2 miss and you're frustrated, you take a quick deep breath and you steady yourself and you lunge with your offhand and manage to find purchase and manage to strike him just above the belt line and in the back of the kidney almost. Doesn't seem overly phased by your damage, but still manages to carry on. With that hit, you're up.
Okay. Hit is going to do something he has never done before. He holds forth his lute and says, "Steel lady, turn these beasts from us." And the one that's on its own, closest to the fiery skeleton, to hits left, I would say, closest to the door side.
Yep.
The one swinging the axe. It needs to make a save as I'm trying to turn undead. Arcane Abjuration turn undead away from me. If it is a celestial, elemental, fey, or fiend.
So what's the range? Is it all creatures or just one you're trying to do?
Just 1 in 30 feet.
Just that one blazing, the one skeleton?
Not the blazing, the one next to the blazing.
Okay.
10 feet away from it.
Okay, so that'll be
Wisdom save for it.
wisdom save for that one. Taking no damage. Wisdom, that will be a 13 on the wisdom save.
I had to make 15, so it fails.
That fails.
So I had to ask a question. Is the CR rating, because this makes a difference to the spell, is the rating on it, let me see, action dash for creatures that fail to be banished for a clerical. So, is it half or lower?
Of your spell, of your level, or the spell level?
It's challenge rating, the creature's challenge rating. Is it challenge half or lower?
It's challenge rating 6.
It must spend its time moving away and not coming to attack me. It cannot get closer to me.
No worries. So on its next turn, it must use its movement to move away from you.
Correct. And as my bonus action, I'm going to move the Book of Souls with the creepy face on the cover over to the 5, 10, 15, to the flaming skeleton behind the big red demon guy.
Done.
And it is going to take a swat at him.
Take a swat. So that is
27 to hit.
that. I think hits.
Okay. And he takes 8 force damage.
8 force damage. A douche.
And it will move 1, 2, 3. 2 hits left towards the direction of the door, but straight along to the side, 20 feet.
Which way, sorry?
So if I was looking from Hit's position, Hit's left.
It's left. Straight to the wall.
Yes, please.
And with that, also need Alessandros to make a dex save, please, and Neymaris. So, actually, and Fiela. As the flaming creature is struck by the large book, it seems to ignite and spew flames 10 feet in all directions. Alessandros, your save, please.
25.
That is a save. You will take 4 points of fire damage. Neymaris. That is a failure. You will take 8 points of fire damage, please.
Oh, so sorry, everybody.
Fiela.
20.
That is a success, so there'll be 4 points of fire damage, half to 2, which Hit will take also. Right, so that is your turn, Hit. Now it is the demon's turn. Once again, that one moves away from Hit, its full movement, back towards the portal. The first one takes his strikes at Neymaris, who is directly in melee combat with him. He will make 2 attacks with his axe. First one is a 23 to hit. Second one will miss with an 11. So you will take 8 points of slashing damage from the first attack, half to 4 because you're raging. The second one will strike out at Sadiq. He is going to battle axe as well. First roll misses with a 9. Second misses with a 14. So again, Sadiq, you managed to parry both attacks as he lunges out with his battle axe. Neymaris also parrying the first attack, but being caught with the second as he maneuvers back round, but not phased at all with a small amount of damage. Next up we have Neymaris. It is now your turn.
I'm going to attack the one in front of me. Again with my Great Weapon Master thingy.
So -5 to the attack.
which would make it a 16.
That hits.
And that will do 21 damage with that one. And then my second one will hit with a 25.
Yes.
And that will do 14, sorry. I forgot to. 14.
So 14 points of damage, so a massive amount of damage. 25 on the first, 14 on the second, as Nemaris attacks with 2 large swings with her her sword. And this creature's not looking too good at this point. Next up is Sadiq, with Fiala on board after that.
Alright, swinging at the dude I have. Dirty 20 to hit.
Dirty 20 hits.
Okay, awesome. Now, to roll. That'd be 40 points of damage.
Was that with your maledict?
Yep.
Wow. Massive amount of damage. 40 points. Makes him stagger, drop to one knee for a second. But then he just looks back up and stands back up, eyes blazing. Your second attack.
19.
19 does hit.
18 points of damage on that one.
18 on the second. Another massive round again, and this creature not looking too good either. But still managing to battle on. Is that your turn, Sadiq?
That is it.
Fiala, you're up.
Do you have that cone measuring thing you
I
have?
do. What are we trying to do?
It's a 55-foot cone. I wanted to see if I can hit without hitting. I think that's Alexandris at these 2 guys in front of me.
You'd be able to angle it that you wouldn't hit either. We'd probably hit Nemaris though. She's right there with you with that one.
Okay.
But you would miss.
What about
Alexandris.
behind me? Those 2 guys behind me. But oh, that's hit. Sorry, I don't want to hit it. All right, I will do something else. I will do Moonbeam on. You think I could do it?
So Moonbeam. So what's Moonbeam?
Yeah,
again?
I'll just do Moonbeam, and that's a con.
Yeah, what is it? A straight line or is that a target?
Moonbeam's just a target.
Okay,
I was
target.
going to do
So-
something else.
Okay,
but,
so which
yeah.
one are you targeting?
The big guy.
Big guy. Cool. So Moonbeam, roll to hit.
It's a con save.
Contact. Okie dokie. So con save. +4 on the con. 23 on the roll.
Okay, I'll take half, which is half of 25.
So it'd be 12. 12
yeah,
points of
radiant.
damage. It takes it takes a reasonable amount of damage, and it's again not looking healthy at all. She's looking pretty bloody. This creature.
All right.
So is that your turn?
Yeah. Well, I'll top it off and hit it with my shillelagh for 23 to hit, and that is 6 damage.
6 damage. Hey, every little bit helps. Is your shillelagh magical though, or is it just a
Yes.
standard weapon? It is magical.
Well, it makes my staff into.
Okay.
It's a cantrip. Yeah.
Yep. So it's a magical weapon. So that does do full damage. So that is fine. So that is your turn. Next up is the blazing skelling tones, and they are going to. Two are going to push in on you, Fiala. The other's going to push in on Sadiq. You will need No, not yet. So first off, you get 2 attacks on you, Fiela. First one is a miss with a 6. Oh my god, these guys are shitty rolls. 13 with the second, which I believe also misses. So you manage to dodge the flaming hands as they try and rake across your body. And parry one and move out of the way of the other. And the other one, the third, is going to make the same attack at you, Sadiq, which is pretty terrible with a 7. Just slides off your armor, no problems at all. As it moves in, you feel the heat from it. The heat from these guys is really intense, though, so you do definitely feel that, and the hot embers that are swirling around their bodies is definitely noticeable. Next up is back to the top with Alessandris. And Hit, you're on board after that.
Taking a swing, of course.
The big dude?
with a 10.
10, that will miss. First attack
Next one.
misses.
19.
19, that will hit. You'll get your sneak attack on that attack. As you have allies within 5 feet. Actually, you have advantage on that first attack, on all your attacks too, because you're within 5 feet of Nomaris. So be aware of that.
So that's 14. No. 12. No. Oh, God! Math is hard.
14, no, 12, no, wait.
14.
14, you
7
sure?
and 7.
Take the bigger number.
7 and 7.
14 points of piercing damage from your second attack, and this creature drops to one knee and drops his axe. He is not looking good at all.
And for bonus action, swinging again.
Swing with your offhand. With the 26, does hit.
And 8 damage.
And that will reduce this creature to 0 hit points. So describe your final blow on this creature with your offhand. Where do you strike him? Remember, he's down on one knee.
So, with me offhand, I just swing up towards his throat, slicing his throat.
Yeah, so indeed,
backhand slice.
indeed, there's a backhand slicing maneuver, slicing through the jugular quite deeply with these new rapier of yours, and severing the jugular vein of this creature, and it looks up, head rocks back a little bit, opens the wound wider as the blood, which is very, very dark, almost black, spills out down its chest and down to the floor, and it rocks back and falls prone. And is now dead. The rest of your turn, Trash. Movements.
No other baddies near. Well,
You've got 2 blazing skeletons right there. You got 2 behind you as well. You got 2. You push 2 in front, 2 behind. So it's your option where you go.
I was going to go make a beeline to the one that's near the portal.
Okay. Yeah, you should be able to do that without provoking an attack of opportunity if you go the right way. So that's
Yep.
not a problem.
And that pretty much ends my turn.
No problem. So, Hit, you're up.
Hit uses his free action to yell out to Ellie and say, Ellie, leave that one alone. I have a spell on it. It will not come near us for the now. Check out the portal. And as he's saying this, he orders telepathically the book to move 15 feet to the other axe-wielding demon. And he is going to make an attack with that axe-wielding book on the... there. He's going to make an attack with the
The book.
demon. That will be...
When you come back, we'll get that from you. Right, you're back.
11 to hit. It's a bit low.
That will miss.
Okay, and so the book slams down, but just narrowly misses because it's a book. It has no eyes, really. And with his action, Hit is going to fire a frost. What the hell is that thing called?
Frosting, yep.
Hit's ice spear, and he's going to sing with his lute as he aims it at the skeleton in front of him, saying, "Feel as though you're out in the cold." And that is 19, 12, 13, 15 to hit.
That hits.
That is 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 damage. Cold.
16
damage.
cool damage as you strike it with your ice spear. And it takes... It almost extinguishes its whole sort of up left right hand side, its arm and shoulder, and within a split second it reignites, and everything sort of moves in and around it. Is
Okay,
that your turn, Hit?
Hit will move 1, 5, 10. Hit's going to move 10 feet to his right and 5 feet forward towards the flaming skeleton.
Done.
Thank you. That is all.
That is all. With that, it is now the demon's turn. We got one demon down. The second demon will make his attack at you, Sadiq. His 3 axe attacks. First one, God, misses with a 7. Holy crap. Second, 16. All 3 missed. Man, the rolls on these guys are shite. So 3 misses, as Sadiq parries and moves, and one catches your armor plate, and just this new armor seems to be doing its job very, very well. And it misses all of its attacks. It doesn't move anywhere. It stays where it is. The one at the back is going to move. And not move any closer to Hit, but it seems to be circumnavigating the room somewhat.
Just as a
And-
reminder to it, it can't dash, dodge, or
No.
anything else.
but it can shoot a fireball, a necrotic flame at Sadiq, however.
Yes, it can.
Actually, it's going to shoot it at you, Hit. No, he can't. He can't attack you either, can he?
Yes, correct. He cannot attack me either.
So it'll be Sadiq. Let's see if we can get a decent roll. 19! Does that hit?
Yep.
Okay, finally, we get a hit. So you need to make a dex save, firstly.
22.
That'll be 7 points of fire damage. So that's already halved. And you also need to make a constitution saving throw as well.
18.
18, that also is a success, so you'll take 4 points of necrotic damage.
So 7 points of fire.
7 fire and 4 necrotic.
Okay.
And that is the creature's turn. No, Maris, it is now your turn. The creature in front of you is now dead. First, before you do anything else, you will, however, take 3 points of fire damage just from being in melee range of the flaming skeleton. And so will you, Sadiq, as well. I forgot about that. So another 3 points of fire damage from the aura from the blazing skeleton. No save on that one.
Going to turn to that blazing skeleton.
Yep.
The same as I did last time.
So attack. Great Weapon Master.
Yep. I am going to attack with 19 to hit.
That hits.
And that is 25 for the first one.
That is enough to shatter the bones of this creature and you scatter it across the floor. However, Biela and Namaris will both need to make a dexterity saving throw, as well as this creature, as it's reduced to 0 hit points, it explodes.
In.
So dexterity saving throw from you both. You'll also take fire damage from hitting the creature with a melee attack. So there'll be 2 lots of damage taken here.
Right, so I got 15 for the dex save.
So
hang
you'll
on, that's
take-
without advantage. Hang on.
Yeah, you've got advantage on dex saves.
18.
18. So you will take 5 points of piercing damage from the flying bone, which is halved to 2. And you'll also take 4 points of fire damage from the explosion as you hit it, but it does die. Fiala, your dex save, please.
I used my luck, but I still failed with an 8. So
Yes, that is a failure. So you will take 5 points of piercing damage from the splintering bone, and 8 points of fire damage from the explosion as well, from the melee strike.
Am I close enough to hit the other one with my second attack?
You would have to move, but you are close enough to move into it,
Oh, well then I do that.
even knowing that you're going to cause damage.
Yeah. I'm raging, I don't care.
Hit, you also take the damage that Fiala took as well.
Is that the end of my turn?
That's in your movement. You've still got a second attack.
No. Well then I'll hit it. I'll attack it. Arr.
Great Weapon Master.
Nope, not with the second one. That's just for the first
Oh,
one.
it's the first one, okay. Just making sure.
So that's 14, 56, 17 to hit.
Hits.
And that is gonna do 13 damage.
13 damage. Dex save for you and Fiala as well, please.
$18 for me.
That's a success.
11 for me. I'm
So
gonna reroll that.
4,
Hang on.
4 fire damage for you, Fiala, as the strike hits it and the flames burst out. And yours, Nimrod?
11.
That'll be 8 fire damage for you. Next up is Sadiq.
Alright. Fuck. What's left?
You have a demon and a blazing skeleton on you right now.
Well, I'll take the demon on.
Demon? No problem. The demon's looking pretty bloodied. It's got lots of open wounds.
That's a miss with an 11.
That misses, definitely. Parries the first attack.
16 for the second attack.
And the second it does hit.
It's just evil, so damage is... I'm gonna re-roll that 1. So that would be 14 points of damage.
14 points damage. Not quite enough to take it down, but it is not looking healthy at all. Heavy breathing, the wounds are deep, and it's not looking good.
Okay, well, that's it.
That's a view. Fiala.
I'm gonna break my moonbeam concentration and can I disengage as a bonus action? Is that what it does? Can
Only
I do
a
that?
rogue can do that as a bonus action.
Dang
unfortunately.
it! Because I think Cure Wounds is a touch. Alrighty. I'm going to cast a mass Cure Wounds. No.
6 seconds.
I'm gonna put a Healing Spirit Stag on head.
That's action or bonus action?
That is a bonus action.
You would look at hit and see that hit is all good.
It's too late.
She
The
does
stag,
look good.
the stag is up.
Oh, that's right.
Stag is up and on hits, even though hit has taken no damage. Well, actually, no, he has taken damage, but yeah. I mean, Fiala would probably, she knows you're taking damage, so she's doing what she would do.
It's 5 healing right now, and then I'm going to just shillelagh again at the one in front of me. So
Go for it.
that's 26 to hit and
That definitely hits.
13 damage.
13 damage, and that is enough to destroy that skeleton also. Once again, I need you and Namaris to both make dexterity saving throws, please.
16 for me.
The 16 for you, that is a success. You will take half the damage, so you will take 2 points of piercing damage from the flying bones, which will be half to 1, and you will take what did I say was it? So you're taking half of this as well, so 3 points of fire damage.
I rolled a 15.
15, that is a success also. Not for the fire damage. Oh, actually, no. Yeah, 4 points of fire damage for the other, sorry. You'll take 8 points of fire damage, Namaris, and succeed on the piercing damage, which will be 1 for you. But there's another skeleton down as it explodes in pieces all over the floor. And you'll notice too, as these demons die, their bodies more or less disintegrate, turn into ash, and almost ashy kind of tar and melt into the ground and disappear. Next up is that the rest of your turn? You can move now that this creature has died.
Oh, I'm gonna head for the portal.
Gonna head for the portal.
Yep, as far as I can. Which I think
Just get to the top of the stairs there. And with that, it is now the skeleton's turn. And as you approach the portal and the skeleton gets ready to make its attack, another demon and another skeleton step through the portal. So with that, the skeleton's turn. He is going to make his attack at Sadiq because just happen to be there. With a fiery touch with a 24 to hit this time. About time.
Yeah,
So
it's a hit.
you will take 7 points of fire damage as its fiery claws reach out and rake across your face.
So 3 points of damage.
And back to the top of the initiative order. Alessandros.
Move just to the left of the demon that's come through. I don't want to go near those skeletons. They're nasty.
So whereabouts you wanting to go?
To the left side of the demon.
Which demon? There's 2 on the field.
Well, the one
Be more
that's just come
specific.
through the one that's just come through the portal. That's the demon, isn't it?
Right. There? Give or take?
Yeah, give it a sec. That Fiala you just moved, but okay.
Damn it.
But yeah, somewhere there.
My bad.
Alright, having a go with a 20 to hit.
That hits.
With 7 damage.
7 damage. First attack. Second attack.
Second attack's 15.
That misses.
Bonus attack.
Offhand attack.
24.
That hits.
With a 10 damage.
And 10 piercing damage. And that is your turn, Alessandros, as you, the new demon stepping through the portal, you jump in and attack it straight away, halting it in its path. Hit is your turn.
Okay, how much healing stag does for hit? Do we know?
It's D6. I think you can roll.
I'll
Oh,
roll.
or I can roll.
I'll roll it. 5 points.
Yeah. There you go.
5 points.
5 points of healing.
Excellent. So Hit will, after healing up, Hit will see the chaos going on. These fiery things to each side of the room that are round with red in them, are they braziers?
They are braziers, yes.
Okay, that's interesting. And the ones that have just stepped through the portal, one's a fire skeleton and the other one's another
demon.
large demon.
Yes.
Okay, Hit is going to say, he's going to hold forth his lute, shining the Steel Lady's symbol and say, Moon Child. Oh, no, he's not. That will not reach. He's going. It would have worked had I been a little closer. He is going to.
You can still move.
Yes, I can. Nope, Hit is going to do it. Hit is going to Ice Spear again. Feel as though you're out in the cold, and he's going to Ice Spear the biggest demon that's just come through the portal.
No problem.
I am rolling to hit for that now.
Roll to hit.
16 to hit.
That hits.
And that is a... Oh, nice. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22 cold damage.
22. And 22 points of cold damage as the ice sphere streaks down the room, striking this creature, and it staggers him a little bit, but he's not too phased by it.
And with his bonus action, he's going to strike with the Book of Souls on the other exploding demon that he missed before.
No worries.
And that it will be a 16 to hit.
That hits.
And that is not so good. 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 force damage.
Describe the way this creature pierces as you strike it with the Book of Souls.
The ugly face on the front of the book, very reminiscent of half a corpse. It looks down and its mouth opens, and in a ghoulish voice it says, I throw the book at you. And the book slams and slams repeatedly into its head. When the demon hits the ground, it just continuously slams it into pulp.
And it continues to slam until eventually, after a few moments, the body starts to break down and into its ichor form, and disintegration disappears.
And that is all for hit this round, thank you.
How long is your turn undead stay up until? Because you're concentrating on it, yeah?
No,
Nope.
not concentrating, just 1 minute.
1 minute, so it's still going. It's still up, so that's cool. So with that, it is now the demon's turn. So,
Or until it takes damage, DM.
not taking damage, but is now moving back to someone it can actually beat on, which is Alessandros, as it cannot get any closer to hit. But the demon that came, the fresh demon coming through, now makes his attack at you, Alessandros. 3 attacks with his battle axe. First one is a 23. Second one is a 12. And the third is a 22. So 2 attacks will hit, so you'll take 16 points of slashing damage. As he strikes down with his first, again, one-handed with the axe, strikes down across your chest, then comes back with the second missing, and then strikes back down with a third across the top, hitting his shoulder. So it's 16 points of slashing damage to you. The other can't really do anything. Yes, he can. He can shoot a necrotic flame at you, because why not? And misses with an 8 anyway, strikes the wall behind you. It is now Namaris' turn. With Sadiq on board after that. So Namaris, you have a blazing skeleton still up near Sadiq, and you now have 2 demons and a blazing skeleton at the portal.
Can I reach the portal?
5, 10, 15, 25. You can reach the demons, but you won't be able to reach the portal.
I'm gonna go for the demons. All 3 of them all at once.
You can't hit them all at once.
No, I can try.
You can try.
No. I'm gonna go for the one that Note that Ali was attacking.
Okay.
And I'm going to do what I did last time. So I'm going to hit it
Which is what?
with a nat 20. So that'd make it a 25.
What are you doing?
The Great Weapon Master
You've
attack
got to say it.
thingy.
You can't just say I'm going to do what I did last time because I'm never going to remember from turn to turn.
So that was a nat 20. So that makes it a 24
I'm
to
pretty
hit.
sure that hits.
Okay. And then so that'll do. Oh, I like it. Did that on its own. 24 damage.
That with your 2 for your rage.
Oh, 25, 26. 27 because it's 3 for rage.
3 for rage. So 27 points of damage on your first attack. Your second.
Is only a 28 to hit.
I'm pretty sure that hits.
And that's another 12, 13, 14, 16, 15 points of damage.
Make up your mind. As bad as Trash Man. So what was it?
15. 15 points.
12, 14, 16, 15.
Yeah. I can't count either.
Man, there's some people here need to study their character sheets, I think. Alright, with that, Namara strikes out with furious anger twice and does some serious damage to this demon that has just freshly made it through the portal. Next up is Sadiq. So the blazing skeleton in your face, sir.
Right. Okay. Taking an attack.
You'll take 3 points of fire damage at the top of your turn.
1 point of fire damage. Okay.
So that's right, you're fire resistant, aren't you? I keep forgetting about that. So yes, 1 point of fire damage at the top of the round.
Yep. So I'm gonna attack. So it's a undead.
It is
enemy,
undead,
right?
yes.
Cool. Roll. Thank you. There we go. 19.
That hits.
Good hit. Now it's an undead, so roll that one. It takes 24 points of damage.
And it explodes. So you need a dex save, please.
26.
So you'll take half damage from the exploding bones. So you will take 2 points of fire damage, which is already halved.
Did you half and then half that again?
No. Why? You're not resistant twice.
Resistant to fire.
Yeah, but it's... so yeah, of course. Okay, so you'll take 1 point of fire damage. And you'll also take another 3 points of fire damage for the hit you made on it, because it flares up when you hit it and then it exploded.
Is
and
that
that's
half
half
of
the
what
half. Yes, that's half.
Okay. Right.
Confusing me, man.
It's not my fault. I've got resistance to fire and necrotic.
But it is now deed, so you would get an extra swing. But there's nothing in range.
Well, I'm gonna go. How far are those people away from me?
They would be 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Yeah, not about 35, so you're not quite going to make it to them.
That 35 is my exact walking distance.
Oh, you got 35. There you go.
Yeah, I've got 35.
Well, actually, 35 will get you to the back of Neymar, so it won't get you into melee range.
That's close enough. At least I'm in the fray again.
Yes, so you're in the general vicinity. So that is your turn.
And hit just got luck too.
Nice. Make sure you're marking the Lux guys. Thank you, chat. So, Fiela, you're up.
Seeing everybody crowding over there, I'm gonna go around to the other side, get a good lineup with the portal.
Yep.
And I'm gonna try and cast the 5th level Dispel magic on
5th
it.
level Dispel. Okay.
And see what it does.
I gotta remember what the roll is for that. What? Can you just read that off for me, please?
Choose one creature or magical effect within range, any spell of 3rd level or lower, in target ends, At higher levels, when you cast a spell using a spell slot of 4th or higher, you automatically end the effects of the spell on the target if the spell's level is equal or less than the level of the spell slot you use.
Interesting. So with you step up, you you charge up the spell, you release it, and the portal drops. 5th level spell.
And
the portal closes with it starts to swirl, just gets smaller and smaller until eventually it blinks out. The smell of sulfur leaves with it. Apart from the smell that you guys smell because you're right in the face of these demons.
And I think that's it for me because I can't really move any further.
You'd have
that's
to.
it.
You could possibly cast a spell at the skeleton if you had another spell. Cantrip maybe, but that'd be about the only thing.
I have a thorn whip, but
Cantrip?
yeah, but no, it's an action now. I can't do anything now.
No, that's fine. So it is now the blazing skeleton's turn. So Neymaris, no, you won't. Not till top of your turn. Never mind. But it's going to attack you anyway because you're the closest thing to it. So fiery touch with a 10, so it misses. That is its turn done and dusted. Back to the top of the initiative order, which would possibly have seen more demons come to the portal, but however it is now closed. Alessandros. You're muted, sir.
Yeah, attack 23.
Hits.
10 slashing.
And sneak attack. Rapier's piercing.
Piercing that, and 13 sneak.
13 sneak attack. And your second attack, sir.
18 to hit.
Well, madam. 18 to hit, that hits.
12 damage.
12 points of piercing damage. And your bonus offhand attack if you wish. Or something else up to you.
It's going to be something else. I will use second wind to give myself.
Give yourself a heal.
Yes.
Not a problem. You utilize your fighter ability and gain yourself a small heal. That is your turn. Hit, you're up. And you're muted.
That is correct, I am. Hits bonus action. He is going to move the Book of Souls 20 feet as close to the nearest demon in front of the sarcophagus as he can. I don't think it quite gets there.
Not quite. It'll hover up over the sarcophagus, but it won't quite make it.
Okay, and as hits action, he's going to get a bit of vantage point moving. Sorry, as his movement, 5, 10 feet. He's going to move 30 feet forward so he can see the biggest demon that stands amongst his crew.
They're both the same size. Just the model slightly different, but essentially they're both the same size.
I just feel like I would be able to see that one better, but yes, that's good.
Yes. Well, you would be able to see one better. There's a bit of an obscurance with the others.
And with that, he puts his right foot forward, points the head of the lute at the demon, and he says, "Still, lady, guide this boat through the holy smoke." And he casts Guiding Bolt at 2nd level at the demon.
And the save for that?
No save.
No save. Roll the hit.
It is a 14, but now what does my luck do?
Reroll. Luck is a reroll.
Okay, I'm using luck because that was shit. That is better. 24 to hit.
That hits.
And that is Guiding Bolt 5d6.
Pretty sure it's going to die, eh?
This is also radiant damage. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 13 radiant damage.
Not quite enough. It does take a massive amount of radiant damage as the column of fire It's guiding bolt, isn't it? Not sacred flame. So as
Correct.
the bolt of radiant energy streaks forward, striking this creature. Not quite enough to kill it, however, but it has left it smoking and charred with the holy flame that is now burning in its chest.
And as his free action hit, yells out, "Good work, Fiala, shutting down the gate. All right, team. Doesn't matter who you hit now. Go for it."
And with that, it is now the demon's turn. The demon that is not looking too good will strike out at Alessandris. 3 attacks. First one, 26. Second one, 26. And the third one, an 8. So hits with 2, misses with the last. But you will take 16 points of slashing damage once again as he strikes forward with his battle axe, multiple attacks. Missing on the last, however. The other demon will strike out at Nemaris. Same thing, 3 attacks. First, misses with a 10. Second, 17. Does 17 hit? Thank you. And the third, a natural 20. So you will take 16,
I think that might miss.
24, 20. It was a 26 with a natural 20. 26. You'll take 30 points of slashing damage, half to 15, because you are still raging. And that is their turn. They're not going to move. And stay right where they are. So now it's Nemaris. It is now your turn.
I was about to say, do I have a reaction? But I really don't, because I don't have any reaction.
Then no, you don't. You
I'm
now
going to look at
have,
this thing and I'm going to go, grrr.
yeah, you have a creature in front of you that's looking very unhealthy. One directly in front.
I'm not going to bother using my Hojime Flip for that. I'm just going to hit it because it hit me first.
Okay,
And that's with a 25 to hit.
that hits.
And that is 15 damage.
It's 15 damage, and that is enough to kill it. You decapitate this demon as it drops. Because of your Great Weapon Master skill, you do get an extra attack as well. So you still now have 2 attacks, which you can then move to a different creature with.
Well, the next creature is going to get hit with 28.
Which creature is it? You have 2 to choose from.
Oh, shit. I'll go for the... Meeny, meeny, miny, mo.
Quickly.
The big green thing. I mean, the big green thing. The big red thing. Flaming red thing.
Flaming red thing. Okay, so that hits.
Okay. Well, I bloody hope so. And that is with 15 damage again.
15 damage again. You'll also need to make a dex save, please.
Yeah, no worries. Dex save of 18.
4 points of fire damage.
And then my second hit, I'm gonna attack it with a 20
That hits.
for 15. For 15 again. No, 16 that time.
So that explodes. So that another dex save from you, Gala, Usadek, and Alessandra.
20.
So that will be a total for you of 6 points of fire damage for you. Sadiq,
30, 20.
30, 20. So that will be 2 points of fire damage for you, and that is half of half.
So I
Alessandros.
rolled a natural 1, but I'm going to use my inspiration to re-roll.
Inspiration's not a reroll, it's a D10. Or is that DM's inspiration?
I think it's DM's inspiration. I'll tell you
Is it on your character sheet?
Yes.
Yep, so it's a reroll, yeah. If it's inspiration from chat, it's just a D10.
14.
14. That's still a failure, but you will take 8 points of fire damage. So that creature explodes and disintegrates, leaving bits of flaming bone flying everywhere, now leaving one demon left alive. It is now Sadiq's turn. And you'll be able to scoot round and get into melee combat relatively easily.
And what's that against? An undead or demon?
It will be a fiend.
Excellent. Okay, so 22 to hit.
That hits.
Now, damage roll for evil. That is 22 points.
22 points of damage. First one. Second attack as you slash through its stomach and open up a large wound just below its lower floating rib.
15?
15 misses.
Ah,
Demon, as you strike with the second attack, manages to parry with his axe.
shit. Crap.
And that's you.
Yeah, that's me done.
That's you done. So with that,
Don't forget you got advantage on attack.
oh yes, you have advantage. So roll that second attack. Roll it again because you're within 5 feet of Namaris. So yeah, remember that, guys. And Namaris, you remember it because it's your skill. So you need to let everyone know before they roll. If you can.
Same as before.
Same as
so
before,
don't
so
make
still a
difference.
So yeah, if you're within 5 feet of Namaris, she has an ability which gives you advantage on your melee attacks. So just remember that for the future. So that is Sadiq's turn. Fiela, you're up.
I know this isn't beneficial to me, but the chat has given you luck, DM.
Oh,
Just so
yay.
you know.
Thanks, chat.
And now I need you to make a con saving throw. Because I'm gonna cast Moonbeam again on
Who gave me
Yeah, I know, right?
luck?
Roasted.
Freaking roasted.
Yay.
me.
And then the chat.
See, I knew chicken would look after me. So con save.
Yeah.
I don't really need help on the con saves on these guys.
Yeah.
23.
Didn't figure.
That's why we haven't said anything till now.
I will
I
mark
should've
that down, and I'll mark down that the players didn't tell me. So
I don't-
Watch the chat and you'll see it
I
yourself.
don't have the chat up. Right, 23 on the con save.
Yeah, that saves. So you'll take half of 31,
So
which is
15
15 radiant damage.
15 radiant damage as it connects, but definitely doesn't do as much damage as you would hoped. As that's your turn.
I'm gonna go up behind it and shillelagh it with. I gotta scroll.
Roll shillelagh.
It's gonna miss with a 12, I think.
That does miss.
Yeah.
As it
That's
again
me.
turns and parries your attack. Next up, back to the top of the initiative order with Alessandros.
So yeah, move me in wherever we can get.
Yeah, well, you're pretty much right there, so. And you get advantage on the attack because of Namaris anyway, so you get your sneak attack on your first.
So advantage on attack, that means I can roll a second time, yeah?
Yes, two d20s take the highest.
24.
That hits.
9's piercing.
9 piercing, no, sneak attack.
11 sneak.
11 sneak attack, and your second attack.
26 to hit.
That hits.
6 damage.
6 damage, and bonus offhand attack. As Alessandra seems to be finding her rhythm with these new rapier, dealing little bits of damage but quick succession.
So this thing that Maris has, does that
That's
with
advantage on all attacks, yes.
all attacks?
Yes. All melee attacks get advantage.
Okay.
As long as you're within 5 feet of her, which you are.
16 to hit.
That hits.
9 damage.
And 9 points of piercing damage. So again, Alessandra's 3 quick strikes with her mighty locked rapier. Her parents' weapons, seemingly a good fit for her. With that, it is now hit your turn with Namaris on board after. Actually, no, the demon on board after that. Then
As
Namaris.
hits action, he pulls the loop close to his chest and he whispers into the head of it and he says, "A heavy thump, a lifeless lump. You'll drop down one by one." And he casts dissonant whispers into the demon's head. Needs to make a wisdom save. This is at 3rd level.
Wisdom save. Failure with a 9.
Okay, he now takes 5d6 psychic damage. 23 psychic damage.
You release the spell, you call your whisper into your lute. Doesn't seem to have any effect on this creature.
Oh no. As my bonus action, I throw the book at him. Well, the book throws itself. It attacks.
I'll leave it up there for looks on the camera, but yes, attack. Roll.
24 to hit.
That hits.
And he takes 8 force damage.
8
as
force
the book slams
damage.
him in the head.
And it does indeed. The psychic spell not really doing anything at that point. You were unsure as to why, but it did not take any damage. But the book makes up with it somewhat, with a coming down and smashing across the back of the head.
And Hit will move up right next to the brazier.
And with that, it is now the demon's turn. And it is going to strike out all 3 attacks at Alessandris. He seems to have done the most damage to it thus far, with quick succession, or the most recent damage, and higher recent damage. So 3 attacks. First one, 21 to hit. Second, an 18 to hit. And the third misses with an 8. So two attacks again, so 16 points of slashing damage. As again, it just strikes out with the battle axe. Doesn't seem to be worried that it's completely outnumbered at this point. Does not seem to be afraid at all. So that is its turn, and Neymaris, you're up, with Sadiq on board after that.
I'm gonna hit it with my thing, my Great Weapon Master thingy.
Problem. -5.
$17,
Hits.
and that is 23 for damage.
And your second attack.
Is 24 to hit,
Hits.
and 15 damage.
Sure.
Yeah.
So with that, another double strike from Neymaris with Helm's Vengeance as she strikes out at this creature. Again, opening up a large wound across his left shoulder and down his left arm. His left arm's almost useless now. And with that, Sadiq, it is your turn.
I'm going to do the same thing. Great Weapon Master.
No
Take
problem.
a swing.
-5 to hit.
19.
That hits. Nicely done. So this
Damage.
this should be the killing blow, just so you know. So get ready to describe it.
Weapon
Just
damage.
don't roll a 1.
33 points of damage.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that kills it. So he only has 17 left. So with that, describe the demise of this demonic creature before you.
He just lost his head. Simple as that.
Sadiq, standing up to full height, seeing this creature is not very healthy, must be on his last legs, summons up all his energy, gripping his weapon tight, swings, backhanded, removing its head from its body, its head soaring through the air and hitting the sarcophagus and bouncing and hitting the floor with a bit of a heavy thud. The body sort of hangs there in motion just for a moment before its knees buckle and it slumps to the floor. For a few moments after that, head and body both slowly melt away and disappear. And we are out of initiative, ladies and gentlemen.
what?
Well done.
Oh,
Well, that was a bit of fun.
Continue using Great Weapon Master on. Continue my battle round. Oh,
Well done, ladies and gentlemen. That was a very good combat indeed.
I'm
Nice
just
work
gonna
on the portal, Fiala.
sit down and start polishing my swags.
again. I just found a very cool dice roller. It actually allows me to save each like weapon damage plus
Okay.
critical hit type damage.
That's cool.
So I just boom, and then it breaks it down, also telling me what my D6, my 2d6 is,
That's
and
cool.
then my radiant on top. So I can
Well, that's
separate my
cool.
damage types again.
Awesome. Yeah, because that sometimes has to happen. But yeah, so the end of that, you're now standing in this large room. If you remember, just again, should remember where you were. The large room, the sarcophagus is still there. Just to bring the map reference up for you guys again, just so you know, we can see it there. So the braziers are still lit. The portal is now closed. The remnants of these creatures are still there on the floor. You can see scorch marks where the blazing skeletons had exploded, and smaller scorch marks, like not really scorch marks, like almost like dust and ash, where the demons had perished and slowly melted back to the hells. Het, you would probably know, and probably Sadiq too, actually, that generally when demons are dispatched on the material plane, they don't actually die. They essentially disintegrate somewhat and go back to the hells, and normally become reformed over a period of time. You have definitely vanquished your foes, but yeah, they're not dead per se.
Het would like to inspect the brazier beside him for any hidden secrets of any description, really.
Roll investigation.
That is such a good roll. 6.
That doesn't sound good at all. 6. With a 6, it just looks, to you, it looks very much like a brazier.
All right, team, this brazier looks just like a brazier.
I'd like to look at those. It looks like tools on the sarcophagus or whatnot.
Yeah, the sarcophagus lid is ajar. Just so, I don't know if you remember that, when Alessandro first looked at it, had been pushed to one side. Couldn't really see it was quite dark, but it has been moved. And the tools on top, a couple of them look like torture devices, hooked blade and some kind of hook kind of tool, both caked in old blood. The other one looks like a pry bar, a good sturdy pry bar, basically a crowbar for want of a better term. So you can tell someone's obviously been here attempting to loot the sarcophagus, and probably these two figures on the floor and have met a very sticky end. Most likely at the hands of either these particular demons or something of that description. I mean, they've definitely not had a very good time of things.
I know I looked at the sarcophagus before, but can I see if it is any...
You didn't get a chance to investigate in it, but you managed to look around it.
I didn't see any runes or writing or anything like that, did I?
No, it was a pretty standard sarcophagus. The character that has been carved on the top looks not unlike probably a former king or a nobleman. It's the armor looks like it would have been definitely maybe a captain or a general or a king, like king's armor. The armor has been carved in such a way that it looks very noble like armor. The shield is a large, looks like it probably depicts an iron style shield. Sadiq would definitely know that type of shield is definitely made out of iron, and obviously full iron shields are more likely from noble households or from military rather than just the general soldiers.
Speaks from around this area, isn't he?
A roundabout way. He has hunted in the rough area. Not he may know the keep. He might not know the history of it though.
Okay.
You could ask him.
Sadiq, you wouldn't happen to know this area too well, would you?
Roll history check. How old are you, Sadiq? Just out of from memory, I can't remember how old your character is.
Let's say I'm around the... God, get out of the way, dice roll. Around the 30
Yeah.
Mark?
It's a
And I
roller
believe-
history.
22.
22. You don't know much about the history of this. I mean, you know the history of the area through stories you were told growing up in Beofords, and stories that the other of the full orc hunters had told you. And it's just handed down stories from generation to generation that this particular keep, Beoford Keep, was more than likely home to Lord Hendrik Beoford, not a king, but a nobleman. He would have had lands a lot. He would have owned a lot of the lands in this area, and unfortunately did not have any heirs. So when he died, pretty much his whole estate had been ransacked and looted, and it has been over probably the last 100, 200 years, which has left this place in ruins.
Did you want to peek inside, Allie?
Yeah, I do.
There might be shinies.
In the sarcophagus.
Yes.
Did we not do this once before and it
Yes.
didn't go too well for us?
Yes.
Cool.
DM, sorry, while they're doing this, Head will sit down by the brazier and he's saying a prayer to himself.
Okay,
Thank
no
you.
problem.
Right, so let's do it then.
All right.
So
Opening with
that's
helping Sadiq or Namaris because they're stronger than me.
Would you like a hand?
Just enough to get some light on the situation.
First, Ali, I know I'm going to probably regret this, but can you check it for traps?
I'm gonna stand 15 feet away.
No worries.
Investigation, yes.
Investigation, yes.
He's feeling lucky.
How's 27 sound?
27's a good roll, and as you inspect the lid a little more closely, it has been moved to one side already. You do see that there was indeed a trap in this sarcophagus. However, it looks to have been triggered already and does not look like it will re-trigger. It looks like it was a one-off.
So, Sadiq, I look at you and I'm like, if you want to get one end and I get the other, shall we have a go at pushing this off?
Yeah, let's go. Or do we just like push where it's already started to like open?
Yeah, it's twisted sort of one end. So the top end where the head is has been pushed off slightly, so it's on a slight angle.
I don't mind either way.
Yeah, we'll go that way.
All right.
No need for strength checks. Between the two of you, with your combined strength, you'll have no problem removing the lid to the sarcophagus. No need for investigation checks either. I mean, you can see that within lies the remains of what is most likely Lord Hendrik Beoford. He is wearing a full set of plate armor, which has started to rust. Any magic user here would know. Any one of you that's got magic armor would know that magic armor does not rust. So this armor was most likely ceremonial to be buried in. His shield has started to rust around the edges as well. Still a fine shield, and a fine iron shield at that, but it's definitely not of any kind of magical nature. As you move around and sort of looking in, you do notice a very interesting looking ring on his left hand, and you also find in the bottom corner down by his feet is a small looks like a coin pouch, but it doesn't look like it's got coins in it. It doesn't look like it's harsh, like the harsh look of coins, but there's a small coin pouch down to his left feet. There's also a rod, a sort of silver and gold rod laying next to his right hand.
Right.
The ring. I take the ring off the hand.
Make a dexterity check, just a check, not a save, just a dexterity check. Just D20 plus your dex.
D20 plus Dex.
Yeah.
Nat 1.
Natural 1.
Yeah, why doesn't that surprise me?
As you reach into grab the let's go back to here. As you reach in to grab the ring, trying ever so gently or ever so nicely not to break the hand or the finger, you stumble and practically fall into the sarcophagus for one, and you just snap all the fingers off with a horrible sort of snapping sound as the hand virtually disintegrates in yours. You do get the ring. It's a very fine looking ring, and it's got a engraving on the outside. The engraving of a lightning bolt on the outside of this, and it's a silver ring, but it doesn't look like it's silver. It looks like it's a lot harder than silver, but it's got an engraving of a lightning bolt on it. And also, what you notice as the hand breaks and the hand moves, you also find two potion bottles sitting beneath where his hand was. One potion glows with a sort of a radiant white silver glow, and the other is a light blue liquid, and because you've disturbed it, it's got a real shimmery sort of glimmer to it as it moves in the bottle.
Do you want me to roll to see what they are, or are you just going to save us the hassles and tell us?
I'm going to make you roll for it, you know that.
I hand the potions to Sadiq and say...
I mean, I probably don't need to. I mean, your rolls are that bloody high on those things, it probably didn't waste the time.
You go potion expert.
I'm going to make you roll anyway.
You said there was a rod?
Yes, there's a silvery gold rod on it by his right hand, which is just under his right hand. But you can see it glowing. So, well, not glowing, you can see it sort of shining. You going to try and go for that as well?
Yep.
Another dex check to see if you can move this hand without destroying it.
Let's hope I can destroy it. 13, does that destroy it?
Not quite as clumsy as the first, but you hear a bit of crunching sound as you move the arm, and that it doesn't break it completely off, but you're not overly gentle, but you do manage to get the rod as well. And under that, down below that, you also see another one of these blue liquid potions, and a large eyeball. It's like milky white, so that you got a real pale blue sort of. You can see it. It looks like the eyeball is something that was blind, but it's a lot larger than a human eyeball.
So I give that potion to Sadiq. Say, have fun. Hey, Hat, I found something for you.
How much time has passed, DM?
I'd say probably 10 or 15 minutes, maybe almost half hour.
Okay, so after the 10-minute mark, Het would have said, and he would have sort of finished up his prayer, and he would have said, Maggie of the Thatch, is there no prayer for these dying? And as he finishes the spell, everyone within 30 feet of him, which I assume is the whole team,
Yes.
gets 17 points of healing.
Done.
And he looks up to see what Ellie is showing him.
So Alessandros is holding a very large eyeball. It's still quite squishy, Alessandros. So it seems almost fresh. It's not like squishy that you're going to pop it, but it's wet and fresh looking.
Okay, why do you have an eyeball?
I just found it. I thought you might want it.
Het looks over at Fiala Yildri and he sort of says, "Here, give it here." Takes the eyeball and he shoves it in Scully's mouth and just sort of lets the mouth hold it, puts it back in his bag.
Okay.
And
Potions roll, please.
Okay. 20, 19, 27.
One roll would have been enough. The potion that glows with the radiant white silver sort of glow from it is called an Angel's Tear potion, and it's in D&D Beyond, so you can look that up. The blue potions are potions of mana, and they're also in D&D Beyond, so you can look those up as well. You've got the rod as well, don't you, Trash?
Yes.
So the
So,
rod has a real
hey.
silvery golden look to it.
Does anyone have detect magic or perform detect magic? Please say yes.
Well, identify magic is what you're looking for.
Yeah, that one. I'm not magical. I don't know these things.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. What? Yeah.
You said, has anyone got blah blah blah? Then you said, please say yes.
Okay. So you don't have identify.
No, I can detect what magic school property it may be, but that is about it.
Okay. So a silvery
Silvery
What?
gold rod.
gold rod.
Yep.
Okay.
Just watching Ali doing all this and pretty much tearing this poor buddy apart, I'm like, oh, for the love of Helm, will you just stop? And I go and try and pick up the bag nicely. That's that last little pouch that's in there.
That was easy enough. It was just sitting at near his feet. It wasn't anything too bad. And it's... Do you open it and have a look at it?
I do indeed.
And it is a bag of sand.
A bag of sand.
Yes. It's not typical sand though. It's very fine white sand.
I almost feel like I want to put it back in just in case, but no, I'll give it to Het and say, do you know what this is?
Het opens and looks into the bag. Does he have any more of a clue?
Roll intelligence check.
Het is very intelligent. That is -1, so 11, 10.
10. It's a bag of very fine white sand. It's a lot finer than the sand you would find in your area. Like on the coast of your area, it's a very coarse, dark sand. Around the coast of Valond as well, where you guys have been familiar with the coast around Valond, it's also very coarse. Not dark, but a more lighter coloured sand. The sand around the coast of your area is more like the iron sands that we get here. But this sand is very, very fine. You're not sure that it's from Paradigm. I mean, the sands around Paradigm are generally fairly coarse, not as fine as this.
Het says, Namaris, I know exactly what this is.
That's awesome.
This is blinding sand. If you put a little bit in the palm of your hand and blow it in someone's eyes, they go blind.
That sounds like a jolly good idea, I do believe.
It's temporary. It only lasts till they blink it out or get someone with a hanky to help them wipe it away. Otherwise, it's pretty dangerous.
All right then.
Okay, here you go. You may have it back.
Thanks.
So, Namaris, in your inventory and your notes, put in small pouch of fine sand, ? Because, yeah, I mean, you're not entirely sure what it does at this point, but Het's explanation seems relatively feasible. It would definitely work.
Sounds like bullshit.
Roll inside if you don't believe him.
Wrong character, Sadiq.
So yes, so you have Het has a large eyeball. Namaris has a pouch of sand, and Sadiq has the 3 potions at this point, and Alessandros has the rod
And ring.
and the ring. Yes. Oh yes, the ring with a lightning bolt on it. So
Will the large eyeball be about the size of a tennis ball?
yes.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's about the size. If you wanted to roll history or intelligence or even religion, your choice.
All
You
right.
could probably determine
Religion.
what the eyeball comes from.
Man, I'm so much better with religious studies. Because of my dad. That is... 20. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. It's not unlike a giant's eye. It's about the same size as a giant's eyeball. But like I said, it's got a milky white cornea and iris, so it looks like maybe this eye was possibly blind before it was plucked from whatever skull. But the fact that it's still relatively juicy and fresh is with that roll and with your knowledge of arcane things, you probably get the impression there's definitely something magical about it. It would, if it wasn't magical, it would have decayed long ago.
Okay, I was about to cast Detect Magic, so that works out
Well,
fine.
so if you're going to cast Detect Magic, the ring would
Correct.
definitely light up. The potions all would light up, of course, and everything else magical that you guys own would light up. If Namara still had the bag of sand out, that would also show a magical property also.
Okay, so Ed will let everyone know.
So,
I got 16 on the inside check too, by the way.
16? I mean, it was he believed it. I mean, it's legit. It's legit in the point where fine sand would definitely be thrown in someone's eyes, would definitely obscure their vision. I mean, anyone with half a brain would know that. even you would know that, Sadiq. I mean, you've been
But
in enough battles to know that grabbing a handful of dirt and throwing it at someone's face is going to obscure their vision. So fine sand would definitely have that effect.
so what about
Whether
the ring?
that's exactly what the sand is used for, maybe not.
call bullshit.
Does the ring glow as well?
Yes.
Yes, your ring is glowing, Ellie. As is your sand, Namaris, and those potion bottles.
And that's where we'll take a break, because we're a little bit behind on the break, so we'll take a break now. And we'll be right back, chat. Bear with us. We'll be back as the Lions continue to explore these
Ellie's ring.
catacombs and the rings and the sand and the eyes and all the rest of it. Be right back. Chat, welcome back, chat. Chat, welcome. We are back, or some of us back. We're waiting on the rest. But if you got any questions while we wait, now is the time to do this.
Now is the
Now
time.
is the time for the questions.
The time
Lady
is now.
Litany, what's up? Thank you, chat, for the lucks. We had a luck for Het, for Nutty, for the DM, and a luck for Alessandros. One for I think everyone got a luck tonight.
Excuse me.
Except for Sadiq.
Hang on, when did I get this luck?
That was about 2 hours ago.
It's at the very beginning.
Yep.
From roasted.
So you have a luck as well from the chat. So you have another. If you didn't see it, you have a re-roll up your sleeve. So make a note of that.
I use mine, Drax. Thank you very much.
I use mine as well.
Yes, I've got the DM's roll hidden away for a special moment. So thank you, Cam.
Bad Cam.
But yeah, so chat. Why couldn't Trump? Why couldn't Trump go to the White House? It was for Biden. Ah ha 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 ha, Drax. You're such a dick.
Hilarious.
Good,
though.
That was pretty good. Just hanging out for
How
now.
would he use it
What's
to
up, you
help
guys?
us,
It's an
Roasted?
inspiration.
Blue Jay
for,
Bad Cam.
Emilia next week.
I could have used it to help you guys. I could have. But then again, I'm not gonna.
How?
Oh, my
That's okay.
beholder just missed. I'll roll it again. Oh, natural 20. That's
Yeah,
what's
exactly.
going to happen.
It'd be like, oh, one zombie beholder? No, two.
And then the cord to the internet falls out.
She would do that too.
I like that idea.
There we go.
I really do.
A luck for me.
Oh, look, a luck for Pekka. There you go. So everyone's had a luck tonight. Cheers, chat, for that. Good to see people using the channel points. That's what I like to see. Any other questions before we carry on through our wander of this catacomb?
Carry on my wayward son.
Copyright
Well, he said-
infringement.
Well, it's only a snippet, so it's not really.
It's still
Creative
fairly
Commons.
early in the day, isn't it?
It will be by now with combat and be mid-afternoon, early afternoon.
Yeah.
Or are you trying to get to your birthday quicker?
Oh, yeah, she's trying to get to her birthday. Good point.
Sadiq gives Drax a luck. Is that for Wednesday?
Yep. And inspiration.
And an inspiration. Look at that. So
Although he's
can't
pretty
do that.
inspiring anyway.
I didn't think you could do that to your own team.
Well,
No.
Favorites.
well, the thing is, you can't even do it's not even on the right night. I mean, wow.
Can you give bad luck to characters?
Bad
No,
luck.
no, you can't
You
give bad
don't
luck
need
to
any
characters.
more bad luck, Allie.
No, I was going to give it to Roasted.
That was
He already
that's not
has
bad
bad
luck.
luck.
Roasted might just
Up
get.
with
I
that.
think you guys suffer from enough bad luck without giving it to anyone. I mean, come on, some of the rolls tonight. Jeez.
Let's give it to Mira, but oh.
Give luck
Too
to
soon?
Mirabelle.
I
Never
can
too
just
soon.
imagine how that would go.
Right, we've got about 3 calls now to go, so we'll get back into it so we can get a little bit further forward before we call tonight's session and get some moments. Right, so you've now investigated the sarcophagus and found some goodies. I did give you guys the names of those goodies off air, so we know you're going to identify them at some point. But so you now have the so you won't be able to use them until you at least visit a town and complete a long rest, but you now know what they are. So with that, it is up to you what you do next. There are no other doors from this particular room apart from the one which you came through, it seems.
As a note, hit also stops the warding bond now.
Cool. Apparently, Nutty gave me her cup instead of mine. That's why I can taste her coffee.
I'm
I
going.
accidentally gave you mine. I rinsed it.
Not very well. Not kidding.
I'm going to investigate the surrounding areas for secret doors.
Investigation. We all know how
It will
good
help.
Alessandros is at advantage. Do we all know how Alessandros is good at these investigations?
Yeah, 28. It's awesome.
28. There are no secret doors. You search every wall with great vigor and expertise, but you do not find any secret doors or hidden levers or any type of hidden compartment.
There was
So,
a hallway I think we missed.
There was.
I think. Well, we branched off about
Yes.
twice, I think.
We did, didn't
You
we?
did. As you recall,
ignored a couple of different
you
things.
you skipped the corridor to come down the corridor that led you into this room.
Should we backtrack?
Dono? Did we get a dono? Did I miss something? Nope, we didn't get a
I don't
dono.
know.
Nope, I think
Let's
you're wrong. there.
backtrack.
Nothing's come up as a dono.
All right, we're gonna backtrack.
So you
I'm
backtrack.
gonna walk out back.
So you got to climb back over the big stone that fell in the doorway of this room, but you managed to climb back over back into the relatively empty room prior. Then back through the door that was stuck that Het and Alessandros broke through. Back down the small corridor, turning to your right, then to your left, which puts you back in the corridor which had the stairs that you came down. And just before those stairs is another corridor which will, as you're coming back that way, will turn to your left. And as you look down this corridor, it immediately turns to the right again.
Which way, team?
You're the one with superhuman vision, Het. You decide.
Okay.
Yeah. That
Hit.
works.
Het calls Killick out in imp form and looks down the corridor with his superhuman vision, which super dragon vision, I'd love you. So I'm not a human alley, how dare you?
I super dragon vision.
You're not actually really a dragon either, are you? Here, dragon.
I mean, yeah, I mean, this is coming from like a half orc.
Well, I'm just saying, like, you know, Yale is a dragon.
Hey, well, I mean, we know, you know,
Let's not bring dragons into this and just go.
Yeah, let's stop being racist. Come on, let's move on.
So as you peer down this long corridor, it's about 60 feet long, and it turns to the right at the end.
okay, it's about 60 feet long and it turns to the right. Do you guys want me to light up some light in here so you can see?
My sword's still alight, so
Yeah, so
Okay.
That's
you'll have enough.
20 feet.
Yeah, you'll have enough light from Sadiq's sword with all of you that have dark vision to see
Okay.
relatively well.
Het will lead the way investigating the ground area, getting Killick to investigate the ground area and that as we go.
One thing you do notice as you start traversing this corridor is the flagstones on the floor are not as even as they were in the previous two rooms. It's a little bit uneven and mottled. So if you were to attempt to run quickly, it would be there would be a bit of a hindrance with the it's very uneven ground through this corridor. But roll investigation for Killick for investigating the corridor.
That is 15.
I'm not saying nothing.
I didn't see a dono come up. It didn't come up on my alerts.
I
Interesting.
just saw the message and all the emotes and shit.
Interesting. Why did it not come up on my alerts? I'll have to check that. Maybe it went to a different. Hang on, we have to check this. Give me a sec, guys. Because it definitely hasn't come up in the alerts.
So while he's checking that, Het is looking around and he says, who is standing behind Het? Is that you, Ellie?
Welcome, new viewers.
Yep.
Alright, we
Good.
did get a donation. $9.64. Anonymous.
Well, the fact that it said the message said, I
Hopefully
hope
the roof caves in and kills Alessandro's PogChamp. I know exactly who that was.
Oh, yeah.
You too.
DM, I have a question.
Yes.
So, the name generator, what's that all about again?
The name generator for what?
So that just generates a name, does it?
For what?
The bits or
The channel points. You
Yeah.
you get to choose an NPC name
You
and
make
race
an NPC for the
for the homebrew
home
campaign.
campaign.
Cool.
Yeah, so
He's about to put someone in that he wants killed.
it has to be original. I'm not accepting any more characters from other campaigns.
That's
Come on, no fair.
It's been done twice already. You're not doing it again. So it'll be original. You come up with an original character name and race and class, and I will create an NPC.
Fine.
But be aware that we're going to close that off at some point towards the end of this campaign, because it'll be starting to get too hard to add other NPCs into the game. But yeah, so hit your investigation. And thank you for the dono. He who shall not remain anonymous, but I will probably call you out later, because I know who you are.
so that was a 16. I think we
16.
said 15, but it's 16.
So 16. I say the floor is very uneven, but passable. Nothing else really stands out. There's no, it doesn't look like there's any kind of trapping mechanism that you can see, or anything like that. But it's passable.
Okay, Ellie, it's possible. Just be aware. These floors are uneven. You know, we don't want you to trip over and hurt your face, or have the roof cave in on us.
Okay, I'm investigating traps.
Het's already investigated that hallway.
I'm doing it again.
You don't trust Het? Wow.
Hey, I don't trust myself at the best of times. Come on.
Sure.
Yes, Ayla.
Also, at the last time I went down the hallway as a spider, I did web the halls where we had been,
Yes,
like
you did.
the little web
So
marker.
you haven't been down this way.
Yeah.
So roll investigation then, Alessandro. So if you're going to re-investigate the hallway, Het just investigated for traps.
With 23.
There are no traps.
Okay.
Then he
You're
proceeds
muted.
to
No
step
one
into
can
a
hear
trap.
Yeah, that's what I do, isn't it? All right, carry on down the hallway.
I'll be close behind him.
Het will drop
I'll be
back
close
in
behind
third.
her.
Shim.
It.
It, them, they, her, him, whatever.
Shit.
Yeah, that works.
Well, someone had to say it eventually.
Eventually. So you get to the corner of this corridor and it turns to your right, which would be on your compass hit to the west. And
Het would not get the compass out at this point.
okay, but we'll say to the west anyway. You see another long corridor which is about 80 feet long, which then turns to the south.
Okay, so there's another corridor turning to the south alley. You probably can't see it yet. Look out for the... Oh, no, just kidding.
So what are we doing, guys?
Carrying on down the hallway, checking for traps.
Investigation.
I see no traps. 11.
You see no traps. And you don't see the large flagstone that's sticking out of the ground. And Dick, save, please. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. So you guys make it down this corridor. There are no traps. You turn to the south, and as you proceed down another sort of 30 feet-ish, to your left is a wall, and to your right is another corridor, which then turns to the south once again, about another 40 feet or so down.
Yeah, continue down and looking for traps.
Roll 2 investigation checks, because you'll, as you turn this corridor, you've got another 40-foot corridor, which then turns to the west. So I'll get you to make a check for both corridors.
Okay, first one was 19.
Gillick will help.
At advantage. Roll again just in case you get a natural 20.
20.
20. No traps in the first section, your second section as you move down.
I'll go with 28, although the second roll is 27.
28, 27. Tomato, tomato. Definitely no traps in this area as well, but you do notice the torches down here seem to be lit on this section. As you turn the corner, there's a lit torch on the wall, whereas previously there has not been. And as you crest the corner, which leads to another long corridor, about 80 feet long, there are several lit torches along this corridor.
Well, that was hard on my eyes.
Wonder who's been lighting the torches, because we're all here.
Maybe they're magical and they're always alight.
It's possible.
How long does your detect magic stay up for?
I was just checking the same thing. I think it's only 10 minutes.
I'm pretty sure it is too, and definitely 10 minutes would have passed since the last time you cast it.
Yeah, 10 minutes. I will give it another cast.
They are not magical.
Yes, Sadiq is right. These torches are completely... Every single one of them has magic illumination on them.
But what you do notice, however, even though they are not magical, even though you spouted the bullshit they are, there are several runes carved into the walls here.
Oh, shit. Sadiq, I was telling lies. I was just joking with you. There's no magic on those torches, but actually on the walls there are some runes glowing. Do I recognize
they're
the
not
runes?
glowing. They're not glowing. They're not magical. There's just they're being carved into the stone. And as you point them out, everyone else can sort of see them as well. They're kind of obscured in the shadow, but as you were looking around with your detect magic, you noticed them.
Right, I see. I mentioned...
Do I recognize the runes?
Roll a intelligence check.
We failed.
Anyone who wishes to attempt to understand the runes, intelligence or arcana if you're proficient in arcana.
Alright.
They just look weird and unusual. I rolled a 3.
They do.
I
indeed.
rolled a 2, which is actually a 1 because I've got a negative 1.
Natural 20 from the Baz, I believe.
Yep, but negative 1, so 19.
Still a natural 20.
14 for me.
14.
16.
16. So 14, you probably wouldn't recognize them. Hit, though not magical, and Sadiq, you'd probably recognize them with yours as well, the 16. They look to be dwarven in nature. And now that you come to think about it, Hit, you realize that these flagstones on the ground, and that not unlike dwarven structure. It's quite possible that this whole place may have been built by dwarves at some point. Fiala.
I speak Dwarvish. Does that make a difference?
Yeah. Well, then if you speak Dwarvish, then you'd recognize them as dwarvish symbols. They don't really say anything. They're like decorative symbols that dwarves would probably use to mark their buildings and their constructs and things like that. But just time has sort of worn some of them away, and some of them are covered, so it's kind of, and stones, like there's a heavy layer of dust and stuff, so it wasn't sort of apparent until now that you really realize that maybe this was constructed by dwarves, which kind of makes sense if it was a nobleman or a king. If it was a lord that owned this keep once upon a time, that he may have had dwarves construct his lower keep, essentially, which is probably why it's lasted as long as it has. Do you continue?
Yes.
You continue forward, making it to the end of yet another long corridor. Corridor then turns to the north, runs about 40 feet, and then turns to the east.
Carry on.
Carry on. As you continue forward along another long corridor, still marked with these dwarvish symbols, you turn back to the north and are confronted by a door, well, actually more like a portcullis. Where are we? There. It is a wooden portcullis at that.
Is it locked?
It appears to be locked.
Right.
Right.
I want
Does
How
not
heavy does it look?
Yeah, it doesn't appear to be any kind of mechanism to open it either from this side. It's wooden. It's made of solid wood. It's of dwarven structure, so it's definitely pretty sturdy. You could attempt to lift it if you wished.
I was going to say, should I have a go at giving it a lift? Or barging it with my shoulder? I thought, no, I like my shoulder, so I think I might try and give it a lift.
Yeah, well, you'd know. You're a soldier. You'd know that a portcullis doesn't push in or out. It lifts. So barging with your shoulder is probably not such a good idea. So you attempt to lift the portcullis. A strength check, please.
That would be a 23.
23. As you sort of position yourself at the base of the portcullis, you reach down, bend your knees, as you should. Mute yourself, please. You bend your knees to lift it. You get it an inch, 2 inches off the ground, a foot. You get it up to waist height. I need you to now make a dex save at disadvantage because you are now holding the weight of a portcullis as a large blade swings down from one side of this doorway towards you.
Forgot to get Ali to check it for traps first, so that would be an 11.
An 11, that is a failure. You get hit with 15 points of slashing damage as this large, heavy, curved blade just drops from above you, swings down in front of you. You manage to get your head out of the way, but it catches you right across the top of the chest and opens up a large wound directly across the top of your chest. If you had not moved your head, it would have potentially decapitated you.
Ouch.
So, just a question.
And it swings up and stops on the other side.
Is it on the other side of the pork?
It's on this
Culls?
side.
Okay. Sorry.
What are you saying sorry for? I just
I-
went ahead and decided to lift it.
I should
You still
check.
have the weight of the portcullis, and the trap. The blade has swung across, slashed you across the top of the chest, and then gone back up into the crevice above you. As you look up, and you can see the blade still hanging there on the left-hand side now. It swung down from the right to left.
I think I would probably at this point drop the door and step back.
Another dex save as you drop the door. This time regular dex save. So I think for dex saves, if you're at advantage, if you can see it as you step back.
Well, that would be another 11 then.
Another 11, and that was an advantage. You'll take another 15 points of slashing damage as it slashes you as you go to step back. You're not quite quick enough, and it slashes you much in the same place, opening the wound wider and deeper. You've now taken 30 points of slashing damage. You have a large wound that is bleeding profusely across the top of your chest.
I'm just going to sit down on the floor now.
Viella's gonna cast Mass Cure Wounds for 5th level on everybody for 25 points of healing.
Duly noted. And your wound knits rather neatly. Not completely, but it closes off and stops the bleeding. You're going to have a
Just
nasty
a
scar there.
suggestion. Maybe we don't do that. Maybe we sort out this trap first before we do it. Are you okay, Namaris?
Yeah, I'm alright. I'm a bit,
I'll
sore,
look at-
but it'll be...
I'll look at disarming this trap.
Roll sleight of hand.
With a 19.
A 19. Let's see on my trap list here. DC to disable. Yeah, with that, stepping forward, you look up, seeing the blade is swung back to its original position, and you look up, look around, don't see any mechanism above it, but then you look down and you see a pressure pad, which is not really that difficult to see, right in front of the door. And you get the impression that the moment there was any kind of weight on it, especially while trying to lift the door, it triggered the trap, and it seemed to be on a bit of a delay, so it didn't trigger straight away. And it's obviously been a while since this place had been, this trap had been triggered, so it was almost like it kind of got stuck. If only you did. If only you knew what you had in your bag. So, you managed to disarm it. You lift the stone very carefully and sever the spring that is holding this particular trap mechanism, rendering it disabled.
Shall I have another go at lifting this door then?
Maybe, Sadiq, you're quite strong too.
Yeah, we'll work together this time. Probably get it up a lot
so
quicker.
no need, again, with with both of you working together, there's no need for a strength check. You'll easily be able to lift the portcullis and which will be allowing your team to go through. As you step through, you do notice up above the door on the left hand side a small lever as well.
I get a feeling we're going down this bloody hallway the wrong way.
Yeah, should I switch the lever and see if it's the door, or might maybe crush you?
I would have thought that we would have had it above our heads as you guys were going and kind of let it go as we went.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll give it a shot. Let's see. You got like something that can flick it while we're all at a safe distance away from it?
I have a killick.
There you go.
Yeah, killer could be big enough to, it's not a real tiny lever. It's not a huge one, but big. Killer could be able to activate it.
Cool. We'll stand back a bit, and Killick will flick the switch.
So you all step through, and you guys drop the portcullis and step through.
Yep.
Or do you hold it open when he pulls the switch?
No.
So you drop it.
Away.
Killick pulls the switch, and nothing happens.
Okay, it was nothing.
It's busted. Okay, let's move on.
It was probably to stop this axe from swinging.
Yeah.
You
Maybe.
now find yourselves, however, in a large room. And I'll bring up another map reference for you guys. So you've come in on this room down here at the bottom left. This room is well lit. As you can see, the torches surrounding the room. A bunch of crates, some barrels, and 3 large stone coffins.
Okay,
Also, in the left hand, at the top here, you'll see there are several doors. One of them, the first one to your immediate left, looks like a stone door. The middle one is a wooden door, and the top one looks like a wooden door as well.
I wouldn't mind if we didn't desecrate every grave we come to. Just saying.
I don't see Thorpe in here, and that's what we're here for.
It's possible they may have put him into one of these things, but we could knock and ask, right?
Unless they've, knocked him out and tied his hands up and put his legs up and gagged him.
But you could peek.
We could always just have a little look in the coffins. We don't actually have to rummage around the bodies if they're in there.
No, let's have a look. Quick look.
Yeah, quick look.
Quick look. Okay, so who's having a quick look at which coffin?
Head stays by the entry.
It stands by the portcullis.
I look at Sadiq and I'm like, we should probably go together because at least we'll be able to lift it and have a look at the same time.
Yeah,
'cause, you know,
We'll look and.
So which one
Ayla,
first?
do you want to just peek? Because, yeah, Ellie can't see anything because she's blind.
She's got her goggles. And the
Wait,
room's
you-
well lit.
Want me to peek in the coffin?
Yeah, unless you want to lift it, and I'll peek in.
All right, I'll peek in the coffin. All right, all right.
And I just want to remind everyone of the dungeon we did a while back. That hey, let's everybody lift coffins, and Head says no, and then people lifted it, and then all the smoke came out, and someone fell down. Maybe you want to check these coffins first.
that's why Ali's coming with us.
All right, I'll check these coffins.
So which one are you going to start with? 1, 2, or 3?
Number 1, please, Bill, Bob, or whatever your name is.
Number 1, is it?
Number 1. So the first, so basically the first one in the room. So number 1, we'll say this one is number 1. This one here. So you investigation for that one, please.
27.
27. You very carefully search around the top of the coffin. You search around the base. It's got no markings or anything on the outside. It doesn't look like it to be trapped at all. You don't see any mechanisms on the outside. The top, however, is carved with interesting symbols. Not something that I don't think any that you would definitely have seen before, Alashondis. They're not the same as the symbols on the walls of the outside of this place. Definitely kind of weird. And as you move to the second one, investigation with that one as well, you notice the same symbols on top of that one also.
28.
Same thing. It's sealed. Looks safe enough to open. Can't see anything from the no mechanisms or anything from the outside. And the third, which would be the one down the bottom here.
22.
Same thing. Seem relatively safe. The one thing you do notice about this coffin, however, is the symbols on this one are slightly different. Very similar shaping, and that is just 1 or 2 that look different than the others, and they stand out. But they all seem safe enough.
Maybe we should start with that one instead then.
Yeah, sounds like a good idea. Number 3.
Number 3. So Sadiq and Sadiq and Namaris, you're moving over to attempt to lift the coffin lid on this particular coffin.
Did Ali mention these symbols on the coffins out loud, or did he just sort of keep them to himself?
That is up to
Her-
Alashondis.
herself.
No, said out loud.
It would say, if the symbols mean something, there are 3 coffins and 3 doors. Maybe want to check the doors first. Just a thought. Hitter's not very onto it, but seems, I don't know, seems like it's a 3 for 3.
Yeah, check the doors.
Roll investigation. Anyone who's checking the doors, nat 20 on the first one.
Yeah,
Which door?
sweet. The first one.
First door. The first door is a stone door. It looks really, really sturdy. It's. Did you try to? As you just said, you're just investigating it. You're not trying to determine whether it's locked or anything. Just sort of checking it over.
I'm seeing if there's the same markings.
Okay.
And
Doesn't seem to be any markings on it at all. But it looks like a very, very sturdy stone door.
I suppose. Yeah, I'll check all the doors first before I.
So yeah,
check.
won't make you roll for each door. With that roll, each door is solid. The first one is a stone door. The second is a very solid wooden door with iron strapping, and the third is much the same. Slight differences in the 2 wooden doors, but they're all fairly sturdy.
Head cast detect magic again.
Detect magic. With the detect magic spell, you don't, apart from what you guys are wearing, of course, and the other magical items that you've retrieved, don't sense anything magical of in nature from these coffins.
Would I have seen any of these markings before?
Roll history.
Yeah, I was going to ask if they're dwarvish as well as the
They're
ones
not,
on the wall.
Yeah, they're not dwarvish. They're not ones you recognise. But anyone who wants to sort of think about
17?
whether they might have seen them, roll history checks. 17. There's nothing rings a bell about them. You think you might have seen something. You might have seen something similar in a book at the in the Mage's Tower once, but you can't recall any sort of type of origin from it.
So I wouldn't know what language it was. That's
No, it's not a language. It's just like it's almost like
Just
just fancy carving.
All right.
Nat 20 for a 27.
27. Same thing, Sadiq. You've been around this place your whole life, around this sort of area and that, but you've not really heard of any culture that uses these particular markings or anything like that. But the Blood Hunter Order may have some information, but nothing that you've seen.
Yeah, I'll go back to the third coffin.
So you're done with your investigations and that?
Yeah.
Gonna try and open?
Yeah, I'm gonna leave the doors for last.
Well, discuss it with your friends, because it was Sadiq and the Maris that were going to open it.
That's
So
what
you-
I'm thinking.
So you guys ready?
Yeah, we're lifting this one with the different writing, right?
Yes.
Yep. So
Right.
one down the bottom here.
Lift away.
Lift
Well,
away.
just lift the where the head would be, so that she can just
Okay, so
look in.
both on one end. You're going to sort of lift it and tilt it.
Yeah.
I was kind of thinking if you got one end and I got the other, we could lift it a little bit higher and she could have a look.
Well, she only really needs to look at the head.
This is
So-
true.
Like if you get on one side near the head, and I get on the other side near the head, and we just like tilt it.
That
type
would
deal.
work too.
I stand very close to Ellie so I can look in.
No problem. So again, I say, actually this time, actually we'll need strength check with advantage from one of you, or strength check from each of you. Choose.
Well, I rolled a 26.
We'll go with her one because mine was only 16.
Well, we'll average them both out, so it's still pretty good. You do manage to break the seal. It had a fairly good seal around. It took a bit of effort from you both to sort of give it a wiggle and move it in such a way that it eventually broke the seal. As the seal broke, you get like it had been sealed for quite some time, and it's just now the ears just sort of hit it. You get a very strong odor coming from the inside. Lift it high enough for Fiala to peek in. Fiala, you don't even need to roll an investigation check. As you look in to this coffin, you see a pretty horrifying sight. It is a semi-juicy corpse, wrapped in bandages. Its face is contorted and twisted in a hellish sort of scream. Its eyes are open. Its eyes are still juicy and wet. And you sort of, as you peer in, its hands are reaching up and are in a clawed sort of position, like it was clawing at the inside of this coffin. I will also need now everyone to roll. No, I'm kidding. But we will end the session there, because when we come back, you're all going to roll initiative as this creature pushes forward on the top of the coffin, tearing it from Namaris's and Sadiq's hand, it tilts to one side, smashes in two on the ground next to the coffin, and this creature sits up slowly. Dust and dirt, there's a pile of maggots inside the coffin as well, and it sort of turns to look back at you guys and just screeches.
With that, I turned to Het. Okay, so you were right, Het. Okay.
And that's where we're going to end tonight's session, guys. As you have disturbed the tomb of a mummy. No. Something.
Bring it on.
Yeah, I don't know. You might not like this one. But
Ruh-roh.
Ruh-roh.
And we haven't rested.
And you haven't rested, you've burnt some
I wouldn't
spells.
rest in here anyway.
Yeah. But that is D&D, ladies and gentlemen. We finished a little early, which is cool. So we can get through some standout moments for tonight. So firstly, I will turn off my face.
Crap, I haven't been paying attention that much.
Well, it's been more of
Mostly a fight too.
it's
so-
more of a combat
Yeah.
than anything else. So generally, it's one of those things. We'll do XP before I forget as well. So 2,500 per tonight, guys, for the combat and the role play. Even though it was only a little role play tonight, but. So, yes, so the creatures that you fought tonight were called Femur, or Femur, depending on how you pronunciation, and Blazing Skeletons.
Thigh bones.
Yes, thigh bones. So, we will start with
femurs.
Sadiq. Anything that stands out from you tonight, even in the combat?
Let me think. No, not really.
Not really?
It was just a fight, and we didn't really get to like torment each other like we normally do. So
No, there was a little bit of banter back and forth after the fight, but not much.
yeah,
But
nothing really stood out this time.
no, it's fine. So we didn't have a lot of role play tonight, but I say it was a good combat nonetheless. Alessandros, trash man.
So I'm pretty much the same as Sadiq. About the only thing I can comment on is the fucking chat. Roasted. I'm calling you out, mate.
The chat has been awesome. I'll be watching. I mean, I try not to watch the chat too much because I try not to break character when we're doing role play. But I've been watching the chat tonight. There's been some really cool shit in the chat.
So yeah, just chat.
I mean, the dono from a certain somebody asking for a trap to drop on Alessandros, I thought was a bit rough, but I mean, $10, man, I might have to do it.
Thanks, Roasted.
Nutty Tart, Nemars.
Well, actually, no, I'm a bit like Sadiq. There was not a hell of a lot that stood out for me, but I did have a little giggle when Fiala cast her stag, and Baz is like, "I'm fine."
No problem. And Sofiela.
I was gonna say the chat and all the lucks they were giving out was very supportive. So thank
Definitely.
you for them. And they were very funny. And I did have them. I was happy with our teamwork's getting smarter instead of just rushing in, where our tactics are a little better, I think. So that was my thing.
And lastly, but not leastly, Mr. Baz, aka Hit.
Yeah, so agreed. I thought the luck giving out was awesome. The standout moments for me were directly after the combat. Alessandros falls in and breaks fingers off a corpse to get a ring. I thought that was, yeah. And Yildri, when we're sort of fumbling after that, getting all the bits and pieces out of that first coffin, and we're like, so what are we doing now? And I was trying to hide the eye, and she's like, come on, let's just go.
yes, that was one moment I was going to point out as well. But yes, chat, the interaction with the channel points has been awesome tonight. That's what they're there for. Also for Wednesday night as well. So just, yeah, good to see the chat getting involved with our story as much as they can. And even from a chat standpoint as well, though.
Who gave the DM fucking luck?
Cam.
That was Cam.
Cam.
Whoa.
Thanks, Cam. I'm going to use that
The
wisely.
team is now going to kill you.
But yeah, so
I can see a certain character dying on Wednesday.
No, he's not going to die. Where's the fun in that? Torment the shit out of him.
But yeah, so obviously the channel points are there for the chat to use, and it's good to see the chat getting involved on that level, and also the chat giving everyone shit. I mean, some of the comments have been coming through, have been great. Combat wise, yeah, I agree with you guys with the teamwork within the combat, not just all splitting and taking off in 12 different directions and trying to fight something on your own. Kind of grouping up and focusing down one or two targets very quickly is generally a better way to go. In a lot of situations, especially when you've got characters like Namaris and Sadiq that can take a reasonable amount of damage and can dish that kind of damage out very quickly as well with the bigger strikes, especially with the Blood Hunter. Dealing with undead and fiends and that, their damage is just right up there, so it makes it a lot easier if you can sort of group up on one or two creatures and really focus that damage down. It could have been a lot worse, obviously, with the portal remaining open and allowing more to come through, so the spell, 5th level spell, was exactly what you needed to dispel it. If you had cast any lower, it would have been a roll to see whether it succeeded or not, so there was a chance for that to fail. But it was a 5th level portal, so being that you casted at 5th level managed to stop that from happening. And as I said in the break to Baz, that particular encounter would have just got steadily worse as the next lot of demons came through. The challenge rating would have started going up, so you would have seen bigger demons coming through, things like potentially a Baylor or a Pit Fiend or something like that. Chain Devils and all sorts of stuff would have possibly came through. So, so I mean, as far as the show's concerned, that's it for us tonight, guys. We're going to probably look at raiding another D&D channel like we normally do. Just a quick announcement for the channel specifically. As of tomorrow, I am back to my gaming schedule as well. So, starting from tomorrow night, 8 p.m. New Zealand Standard Time, I'll be back into some gaming stuff. So, tomorrow night's Modern Warfare. Open lobbies on Plunder, so if you have got Modern Warfare, the multiplayer, and you want to come play some Plunder with me, come and hang out. I'll have 3 spots available. We will rotate people out if we have more, but it'll be Plunder all night. We're just going to go and shoot people, steal some money. So that'll be tomorrow night. Then the schedule's back up. It's in the Discord. It's on the channel description below as well, so check it out. If you can come and hang out with us, awesome. If you can't, no big deal. But Wednesdays and Sundays, D&D as normal, so that won't change. I may be adding in some more painting streams if I feel the urge as well, and we'll probably do some just chatting streams on D&D at some point as well, just to keep that D&D content up there. But raid. Let's see who we going to raid. We got
Ghostbusters.
That too.
No. No.
We'd prefer to raid someone with lower viewer count than us if we can. There's a few on tonight, and they've all got pretty good viewership too. 16 viewers. We got the Miss District. That looks like it's in a foreign language, so we're probably not going to do that one. Need an English one. Someone's doing an extra live stream. New Zealand Day. Oh no, it's N7 Day. I was thinking, holy shit, New Zealand Day? No way. It's not New Zealand Day? What the hell? Can't really see anyone there. What's this one? 24 hours of extra life. A lot of extra life D&D streams tonight. 11 viewers. Curly Parmesan. That's an interesting name. They're doing an extra life as well. Check that one out.
Before we touch that gem, why don't we look at the tree gem?
They've been running for.
Okay, yeah.
Wait, there's another gem?
The
Isn't the tree
gigantic
on fire?
one in the
Should be
tree.
running for 24
Yeah.
hours.
But where's the other gem?
19
Oh,
hours.
It's a
they've been
frowny
running
face.
for.
I drew it on.
Frowny face.
Is it
for
the
a gem.
charity stream tonight?
Oh.
Yeah,
I
there's
love
a lot.
to
There's a
mislead.
lot of charity streams going on tonight for
It's
Extra
just a
Life.
rock.
So
It's
we'll raid
not
these
just
guys.
a rock.
Okay. I think
It's
they're
a
doing
rock.
24-hour stream, so
Yeah,
they'll be
yeah.
going for a while.
It's a boulder.
Boulder.
Wait, it's not just a boulder.
I think.
It's a rock.
The rock.
Oh yeah, it's a rock.
Oh, we'll do it anyway.
Um,
So Curly Parmesan
nothing else
is
unique
our
about the
raidee
summoning
this evening,
circle aside from it being.
and with that, thank you
Some
very much, chat, for
fresh
hanging out with us.
candles
It's Exclamity with the follow,
Like it's already been summoned.
and we had a anonymous
Miss
tipper, but
knows
you know
nothing
who you
about
are. I
summoning
know who you
circles.
are.
Does not know.
The rest of the game knows who you are. I don't know if the chat
Can
knows
we
who you
ask
are, but we
our
do.
Friend in the bushes, if he's ever seen anything
Cheers,
like this
Magic,
week.
Drax,
You
Lady
can
Litany, thank you for
tell
hanging out
me-
with us tonight. Appreciate it very
Bush friend
much.
doesn't remember
Roasted.
anything about anything, but we should ask.
You guys
I
all
realize who you're
rock.
talking about now, but
We
a
hope you
second ago
guys
I
have
was
a great
giggling at
evening,
the thought
and we
of
will see you tomorrow night. if
you're
you guys
just
wanna come hang out
declaring
and
that
play
there's
some
someone
games.
hiding in the bushes, like that person over there.
Start
So
the
I've been like,
raid.
sure, okay, yeah.
In the
We spend a
stream.
fate point to declare a story detail.